comrades, today is July 21, 2026, and the current time is 1924. We apologize for the delay. An incursion of darkness creatures has infiltrated the facility, and our Mentum comrades are hard at work at terminating the threat. That concludes today's announcements.
この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
Oh shoot, I forgot to do all the things that I'm supposed to normally do. 1 second. I thought I did this, but apparently I forgot. I am a real professional streamer. Give me like a second to like turn on the stuff that I'm supposed to turn on. I normally would do this, but I think I just kind of forgot, and also I was kind of hard at work trying to get my controller to work. That's right, I use a controller for doing art stuff when I feel like doing art stuff, which is really rare. We really don't do art that often, but I'll explain kind of how my wax setup is, and you'll understand very quickly. I am truly one of the professional streamers. Initially we were going to do a Kingdom Hearts story retelling, but ultimately decided not to do that because I think a lot of people weren't terribly interested in it. Well, I'm kidding. There was a lot of people that were very interested in it, but the poll was kind of tied, and I think regular art ultimately won out, so we're like, all right, we'll just do some normal arting today, which I'm gonna try and find some music to listen to real quick. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't drawn anything in a very long time, because art is a very difficult thing to do, like painfully difficult. And I'm kind of surprised because I look at some of my old art and I'm like, wow, I used to be able to draw. Like, this was the original ref sheet that I had drawn a long time ago. Crazy how far we've come. And then I was drawing, like, trying to draw a magic related manga thing, and then I was trying to draw like this Gaia themed cut-ins, and I was like, man, I kind of knew how to draw back. What happened to me? And then I fell off so hard because I looked at some of the recent ones that I did, and I'm just like, man, all these are terrible. I don't know what happened. And that's kind of where we're at. Like, I think the last one, like, I mean, like, sometimes I'll draw something like this where I'm like, wow, I actually pulled something off, where I was drawing over a photo that I wanted to do. Although the more I look at this, the more the scale's a little off, even though I was using the character, it looks really small, even though I think I was using Ray as the example for this image, which is really funny, so hopefully she's not gonna get mad at me for saying that. And then on top of that, I think the only other one I really liked was this one, which was like the character that we're using for one of the Star Sector portraits, which was a really fun one to draw. So maybe we'll try to redraw one of the older portraits, and we'll see where that takes us, shall we? Anyways, how are all of you doing today, comrades? I know we don't do art very often. It's kind of strange that we're actually doing some today. And yes, initially we were gonna do a Kingdom Hearts dramatic retelling, but I think it'd probably be better to make that like a dedicated stream rather than doing it as a, hey, we're just gonna do it randomly today. I think it's like, let's make it a dedicated thing, like a big old fun event maybe type of dealio, you know what I mean? You're happy. Oh, at least you've passed one of the 4 how many more finals do you have left? I hope you'll survive your finals. Finals are never fun, but you only get 2 hours to edit. God, the thing is, like, Kingdom Hearts is such a whacked story that it's really hard to like really condense everything into. Oh wait, oh, you have 4 more finals. Oh, sorry, you have like sorry, you got 3 more finals left. Got it. The thing is, like, okay, we're not gonna, before I do any art, I just want to talk about Kingdom Hearts a little bit. Like, Kingdom Hearts is such a mess because, why does my screen look super yellow? Why is the screen yellow? Oh, you know what I think is happening? Hold on. I think my, is it trying to do that nightlight thing? No. What is it? What the heck? Why does it look... Do I have flux on? Oh, I do have flux on. Oh, that's why. There we go. I don't know why my thing looks super not white. Oh wait, there we go. It literally wasn't white. Okay, there we go. So anyways, initially we were going to do like a Kingdom Hearts retelling, but the problem with Kingdom Hearts retelling is that this is 24 years of plot that I just don't really have the time to kind of describe exactly what's happening. Also, I just realized that this thing is not showing on the vertical stream, so let me fix that real quick if I can figure out how to get to navigate over here. There we go. Like, as a real quick reminder of how long Kingdom Hearts is, you have Kingdom Hearts 1, right, which is here, and then you progress to, you don't go to Kingdom Hearts 2. Oh, no. You actually have, so hold on, let me explain this real quick. There are 3 main titles, right? There's Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 2, and then Kingdom Hearts 3. And you would think that it's a straight shot between these games, right? But it's not. No, it is literally not at all a straight shot between this. In fact, what ultimately actually happens, hold on. What's actually happening in Kingdom Hearts is that you go from Kingdom Hearts 1 and you go to a side game, right? And this side game is called Chain of Memories. Okay, so Chain of Memories leads you to Kingdom Hearts 2, and then you'd think Kingdom Hearts 2 leads straight to 3, but it actually doesn't. You see, Kingdom Hearts 2 actually has a prequel that leads into it, that you technically play Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories, and then you play what's called 358 over 2 days? I think it's what it was, 358, I think, over 2 days. Yes, that is the actual title, which leads into Kingdom Hearts 2, but then you can't actually play Kingdom Hearts 3 yet, because you know what happens after this? You have to go play another prequel called Birth by Sleep. You see, Birth by Sleep leads into Kingdom Hearts 1, which is a prequel to Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, but you have to play Kingdom Hearts 2 to really understand Birth by Sleep. And then once you're done with that, you have all the other random side games. Like there's another one that doesn't really matter called Coded. Like no one cares about Coded, but there's a game called Coded, and it just kind of exists. And then the actual sequel to Kingdom Hearts 2 is a different game called Dream. We're not gonna, again, I'm not here to actually describe Kingdom Hearts. I'm just here to tell you exactly what would happen if I were to explain Kingdom Hearts, okay? You had one called Dream Drop Distance. Also, before I continue, how are all of you doing today? I forgot to say that. Hi, Ray, for being first, I think, right? And also hello everyone else. Hello Ziryu and Ranu and Kefir and Dark Pika and Xanth, who I know is looking forward to Kingdom Hearts retelling, but we're not gonna do that today. We'll make it like a full event. We'll make it like a dedicated stream that we'll plan for the future. Also, hello Kahila and Neden. So, and then after Dream Drop Distance, then you could lead into Kingdom Hearts 3. Right, that's essentially like the main plot. Like, if this makes sense, this is the main. Oh wait, no, hold on, I forgot there was a mobile game that got canceled. There's 2 mobile games that got canceled, actually. One actually made it to live service, and then the other one just didn't even make it to live service either. Basically, what you had was after Kingdom Hearts 3, you're supposed to play a game called sorry, before you could get into Kingdom Hearts 3, I'm sorry, I completely forgot this one. You had another one called, I wish I was joking, Kingdom Hearts 2.8. And then you could move into Kingdom Hearts 3. But before you could go to Kingdom Hearts 3, but after this, before you played Kingdom Hearts 3, you technically should play a different side game, which was called Union Cross. I did not, it's like, it's spelled like this, like Union X, and then that leads into Kingdom Hearts 3. Yes. And then you can play Kingdom Hearts 3. Which then led into a musical sequel called Kingdom Hearts Melody something that I don't really care about. Hello, Greywind. And then, after this, by the way, Union Cross, which is all the way here, okay, I need to emphasize, Union Cross is technically a prequel to the entire franchise. Like, I mean, it's going all the way far, far back behind the rest of the franchise. Okay, that is the plot of Kingdom Hearts. And then on top of this, after you go through Melody and Memory and you go through all these other ones, then you would play the game that got canceled, which was called, what was it calling? Kingdom Hearts, what was the name of the canceled game? Kingdom Hearts, the leak, Missing Link, that's what it was called. It was literally called The Missing Link. Okay. Because okay. I think I'm on live again. Right. You're not gonna see me yet, but I hopefully will show up in a second. God, this is so annoying. Hey, refresh stream. You should be able to hear me. Okay. Cool. You hear me? Great. Because now I have to reopen every single item I was using. Okay. So let me explain what happens, because I know exactly what happened. Okay, so basically, for whatever reason, when I'm streaming and I have my tablet out, there's certain programs I cannot have open at the same time, and it's primarily Twitch interactable throwables. I don't know what it is, but that program will just cause my entire GPU to crash while I have 4 monitors active. It is insane, and I don't understand why it happens. And so that's kind of why the stream crashed. Like, that's why I don't do a lot of art streams, I remember now all of a sudden, because it's like, hey, this is like breaks everything in half, and it's super annoying, and the only way to fix it is you have to reboot the entire machine, and it's such a gigantic, massive pain in the ass to do. It hits unironically crashes my GPU. It is like crazy, and I don't understand why. So now I have to reopen everything. I don't know if the YouTube sign is open yet. I'm hoping it is. I'm trying to quickly reopen that stream because I don't really have a way to access the channel page on my phone. So I'm trying to quickly get there. Oh my god, Firefox, shut the fuck up. Okay, hold on. And then I gotta open up Clip Studio Paint, so that's fine. Okay. I have to go to the actual content, the line. Hopefully it didn't terminate the thing. Okay, good, it's still there, so I have to just go back here. Is it actually live on YouTube again? Hello? Okay. Cool. Okay, so YouTube works again. Okay. We're gonna open Clip Studio Paint normally and pray to God this works correctly, because Jesus Christ. I don't know why this breaks like 90... Like, I don't know why this happens, and it's super frustrating. Let me also yeet off this mustache. I don't need this mustache anymore. Okay, so let me do that. Let me open up Draw. Unfortunately, I don't think it auto-saved the thing that I was doing, so I guess we don't get to see that. Let me also hide CSP real fast, make sure nothing's weird. Okay, yeah, it did not save that anything that I was doing. Great. All right, good to know. All right, let me open up CSP again. We got the blank screen, our favorite. Let me also put on some music in the background. Okay. So, I apologize for that. So, do you want to know what my setup is? Yes, I actually have 4 screens if I have my tablet out. Basically, oh, Jesus Christ. Oh no. Oh Lord, I know what's happening. Okay, hold on. Because it crashed, the stupid tablet program broke too, so now I have to reconnect it. What am I using for what is my art tablet? The Huon software. What the fuck is the Huon software? Oh my god. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, so I gotta fix this again. No, it should only connect to this one. Okay, there we go. So that should be fine. Let me make sure this works. Okay. Okay, good. It kind of works. I can draw. Great. Okay. Okay, everything works as intended, I think. Except this one. So now I have to go pull up Joy 2 key so I can actually have this stupid thing interact the way it's supposed to interact. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm like trying to get... I'll show you... I'll explain my art setup real quick. Okay, so if you want to know what my setup looks like, the way I do this is I have 3 monitors, right? So I have my vert monitor here. Oh my god, I cannot draw straight lines today. Vertical monitor here. I have my primary monitor, which is bottom aligned to this one. It's a little bigger. I think this one is like, I want to say this one's like 21. This is like 24. And this is like 1440p. And this one is 1080. And then I have another horizontal monitor that's like kind of like mid-aligned here. And this one is the same as the other one. This is 21 and this is 1080. And then these are curved slightly inwards, like this. And then I have my art tablet, which is like right here. Okay, this art tablet is I want to say, I think the effective drawing screen is like 13 inches, but it's a little bigger. And then I have a small controller. It's like, pull up a photo of it. 8-bit mini 0. Okay. And then I have a small controller that I use for art things, it looks like this, right? And then the idea is that this thing I can use to finagle buttons. Essentially, the way I hold it is kind of like, I don't know how to rotate a specific layer. How do I rotate a specific layer? Oh, I have an idea. Okay, so if I use this tool, I should be able to do this. Then we're gonna use this, and then we can rotate it like this. Okay, so I use this this controller. It's called an 8-bit do 0, and basically I hold it like this. And the reason for this is that if I need to do things, I could basically be like, okay, so this is, for example, bound to Control Z, and this one is bound to Control Y. This one is bound to to space, I think. And this one is bound to whatever the rotate button is. Basically, rotate. It's essentially pan and rotate. Like that. And then the other ones are kind of bound to do other things too that I have to kind of figure out what I'm trying to do. And that's kind of how I use this. Because there is an L button and there is an R button, and then obviously you have these. Yeah, it's very much a mini controller. This thing fits really nicely into my hand, and it's kind of handy for this type of shenanigans. But anyways, for whatever reason, when I have 4 monitors active, right, like this is for some reason like why whenever I do art streams, things crash. So I have to keep tits off. Like, unironically, I have to keep that program off, or everything just implodes on itself. And that's kind of why I try to not have that. Okay. I don't know what's happening anymore. This is insane. Can you hear me? Am I live? Refresh the stream. Refresh. You should be able to hear me. I hope. Okay, give me. Let's pray this works. Because this is getting a little ridiculous. I have to open up the other one again too. Oh my god. Everything's just taking forever. Like, oh my god, my PC is so slow now. Jesus Christ. What the fuck is happening? Hold on. Reopen this. Reopen that. Okay, so everything's taking forever to reload. Okay, you can hear me? Great. Fantastic. So hopefully I will be also live in a second, as in you should be able to see me momentarily. Okay, so at least, okay. Hello. YouTube should be working. Please refresh. Okay. I really hope not. Like, part of the problem is that I don't want to spend more parts on PCs after the fact that we're in the middle of a Rampocalypse, and I don't really want to spend money on things, you know what I mean? Okay, so I don't know why now the capture tool is not capturing anymore, as in my VTuber self should be showing up on that screen any day now. Alright. Good to know that everything is exploding. I think I probably have to turn off the... What is that thing called? I think I'm using something called Sprout. I have to turn off Sprout and turn it back on, right? Let me do this real fast. Let me... So wait, hold on. So it also says that... Okay, so yes, you have to trust this thing. Good lord. Okay, yes, that's fine. Okay, so now I'm moving. Excellent. Okay, so then I have to do this other one. Alright. Here we go. Okay, turn this off and turn it back on. Okay, hello, I'm alive. You can see me now. I'm moving, and I speak words, and the stream is functioning, kind of. Holy moly. Do I even bother trying to do art again? Okay, so how about this? We're gonna try this one more time. If it crashes again, I'm gonna give up art forever, and I will never be an artist, and that'll be the end of it forever and ever and ever. Not really, but I'll have to come up with something else to do, because this is getting a little ridiculous. Okay. I'm gonna open up Clip Studio. It's only with Clip Studio Paint too. Like, I don't know why Clip Studio Paint is the one that's like exploding on me. It is ridiculous. Okay. So CSP's open. Okay, that window didn't break anything. Good. Okay. Okay, I think we'll be fine. Probably, hopefully, maybe. I don't know anymore. So, again, I recommend refreshing stream if you're seeing nothing, but you should be able to see something now. And that's kind of the best way to describe it. Apparently it's struggling a lot on my phone too, so that's not a good sign. I think that's a very bad sign. Oh lordy. But anyways, how are all of you doing, comrades? Hopefully you all had a good evening. God, this is so cursed. You know what else is really annoying too, and it's gonna be a massive pain for me to sort through later, is that Twitch treats every time like, so every streaming platform has like a certain like amount of time before it counts it as a dead stream, like a terminated broadcast. YouTube, you can kind of like have like a 5-minute breakage and it'd be fine, but Twitch is like a minute and a half. So after this stream, there's gonna be like 4 or 5 different broadcasts, and it's all just because the streams all exploded like 28 minutes, yeah, like a bunch of times, and it's gonna be really annoying to deal with. We are currently we're like already 40 minutes into this, and I have not drawn a single meaningful line this entire time. It is getting a little insane. Okay, I need BGM. Let's put on Kingdom Hearts OST. I swear I am being cursed by Missing Link, because I'm talking about Kingdom Hearts and Missing Link. It is cursing me. Okay, I need to talk about exactly what I'm talking about. So there's a Fire Emblem game, or sorry, there's a Kingdom Hearts game called Missing Link. I'm not gonna do the little critters at the bottom. I'm not doing the Pokemon at the bottom today because I might break something again too. So okay, let me explain something real quick, and you'll understand like what I was gonna talk about earlier if I didn't do this. Okay, essentially there's a game, right? So remember that plot summary? Okay, well, there was a game that was supposed to go from Kingdom Hearts. Okay, hold on. Shoot, I thought the controller got rebooted too. Let me reopen that. I need to reopen Joy to Key. Okay, so there was a game that was supposed to be part of the franchise called, so okay, here's Kingdom Hearts 3, right? And your goal is to get to Kingdom Hearts 4. There was supposed to be a bridge game called Missing Link, and this game was gonna be on your phone. Yes, this is one of those mobile games that everyone, you either hate it or you love it, depending on what you think. And then this would kind of bridge the gap into Kingdom Hearts 4, because it would be almost 10 years since Kingdom Hearts 3 and Kingdom Hearts 4, so they need a way to just kind of keep people remembering what the heck is actually going on in this plot line. And the trail, and so it went into closed beta. This game actually had a CBT, right? Not cockball torture, closed beta test. And it was, but apparently we don't know anything about it because they canceled the game. Okay, like this thing got canned in 2025, so basically last year. And because of that, we don't know what the game was supposed to really be about, whether it's plot or gameplay experiences, until very recently. Like the game the opening trailer just straight up got leaked on the internet. To the point where someone is probably going to get executed at DisneyCon in like a month from now for leaking this. And like, it was insane too. Like, Missing Link leak. Let me see if I can find it. Like a full 5-minute opening cinematic was just leaked to the internet. And I remember, and I sat down and watched it, and I was like, what is Nomura cooking? So if you don't know, the director for Kingdom Hearts is also the director for the Final Fantasy VII Remake and Final Fantasy 15, Tetsuya Nomura. He's got a very unique storytelling methodology, I'll say that much. It's so interesting. Okay, and so the entire like opening cutscene just straight up got leaked, and I was like, am I watching Death Stranding? Because like, why are there astronauts? Right? What quality is this thing? Better be playing in like the highest 720p ever feasible. And this was like an opening cutscene for a mobile game, and I was like, what is happening here? It's crazy, right? Like, whoa, this is like a lot more science fiction than I thought it was gonna be. Because Kingdom Hearts at its core is a fantasy series, right? It's a crackpot fantasy series that exists and it's kind of funny, and it's also takes itself a little too seriously sometimes, despite being, and you hear the words darkness and light a lot. But for example, he just got gibbed and his heart is now left his body, and now it's going to be consumed by that giant darkness monster, a Heartless. So it's like, wait, why do these astronauts have keyblades? Okay, like that's part of the problem. Like, I don't like what was going on in this. Like, what was Nomura cooking with this? Hello, Facer. I'm so sorry, we're not doing portraits yet. I will get to doing portraits in a bit. How are you doing? Let me do the shout out command. Facer QT. Okay. Thank you for the raid, I appreciate it. How was your art? I saw that you were doing art. Hopefully that was a good old time. We're gonna do some art in a bit too, but I wanted to talk about Kingdom Hearts because initially I was going to do a stream where I recited the entire plot line of Kingdom Hearts from 1 through 3. Yeah, you can show. Yeah, I was gonna initially recite the entire plotline of Kingdom Hearts 1 through 3 and draw it badly, but it was voted on that I should do Star Sector portraits, so I'm gonna do a bit of Star Sector portraits today instead, and I think it'll be a little better than doing whatever the hell I was gonna do otherwise. Speaking of which, what resolution do people normally draw Star Sector portraits at? Because I think I was drawing mine in like really low res, but I might start doing them in slightly higher resolutions. I just realized, oh, you can do higher res, and then they just kind of scale down naturally. My model looks really unique. Well, thank you, Ray Rosenfeld. It's weird because we already have another Ray here. Yes, it's Pixel. This is not my normal model design. As an FYI, in case you don't know what I normally look like, my high resolution model that needs to be get updated at some point is normally like this. I normally look like this. Hey, high resolution. I got cool features and a fang. Well, this part's always forgotten about. Yeah, this is the normal model, but we use the Pixel model far more often, I think, nowadays. Mostly because it's a lot more it's more recent and has a lot more content. It's my art's actually. I don't think art's a virus. Ooh. Wow, that character has really large knockers, is all I'm gonna say. Like the first thing I spotted. Is this an original character for something? Very mechanical. Oh, it's your OC, got it. Okay, I see. Is it used? Are you using it for anything, or is it just like a thing that you're doing? 120 by 120. Yeah, I was drawing 128 by 128, but I might draw in like 256 or even 512. I was gonna take a quick look at UAF and just double check what size their portraits are, just so I have an idea like what size I could make them. I think CY draws them fairly large. Okay, so apparently it is 256. What's the other one? SBR. I need to quickly look at San Batavia. San Batavia graphics portraits. How big does Zerby draw it? Okay, Zerby shrinks it down to 128. Okay, so it is 128. Okay. Anyways, her name is Frederica. She's your epic OC and you're drawing her as Titanfall. Ooh, Titanfall. My gosh, I have not played Titanfall in forever and I miss Titanfall. I played a lot of Titanfall 2 a long time ago on PC and I loved just going around. I played a lot of Tone and Ronin. Good times. I wish we would get a Titanfall 3 at some point. Hello, Nasby. Yes, one day. Oh, okay, it is her as a Fumo. Got it. God, I love Fumos. I wish I need to get a Fumo emote at some point, or an actual Fumo plushie. But anyways, we're quickly talking about Kingdom Hearts for a little bit, because initially this stream was going to be me, again, reciting the entire, like, recalling the entire plot of Kingdom Hearts 1 through 3, but ultimately people said do Star Sector portraits, that's what we're doing instead. But I wanted to talk about the leak that came out because it was insane. Also, the stream might crash because we already had 2 crashes today. I think if it crashes one more time, I'll just give up for the night. So, anyways, this is the trailer, and I was like, this is a trailer for a mobile game, which is, you know, they're usually kind of crazy, but this is Kingdom Hearts, and this looks like it was meant for a full-fledged, you know, console title, like a full mainline game. Sorry, I turned off the throwaway thing because that usually crashes stream when I'm doing art, because I have 4 monitors open right now, and I'm not even joking when I say that. Like, it's just so weird seeing, like, these astronaut people with keyblades. So here's the thing, and I'll explain this in a bit after we finish watching this, because if you've never seen Kingdom Hearts or played Kingdom Hearts, this is going to be, like, alien to you and will make literally no sense, okay? Oh, she does do them bigger and then scale it down? Okay, so that's probably what I'll do. Yeah, it's like Kingdom Hearts Destiny, right? In a sense, with like the science fiction bits and all that, and like the fading Heartless. I think that's the dark side that Sora fights in the first game. So, again, it's a little silly, But then they're like, oh, you're in the modern world. This is scale, or what? It's whatever the fake Shibuya that Sora teleports to. And you're gonna love when I describe the plot of this game, because it's going to be even stupider. Okay, and you will understand the absolute insanity of this. Let's switch back to the pixel model while this is loading. Yeah, we'll use the regular. We'll use the pixel model because this one's a little better. How are you doing, Akabe and Riston? Hopefully, in Goldenrod. Hopefully, you're having good evenings. So again, this is Kingdom Hearts, and I'm like, this looks so strange. Again, I need to emphasize the director for this was the same director for Final Fantasy VII Remake and for Kingdom Hearts, or for Final Fantasy 15. Yes, Kingdom Hearts is owned by Disney. I'm not even joking when I say that. Disney fully owns the rights to Kingdom Hearts. Yes, Riston's a mod here too. I know Riston collects mod rolls in a lot of places, but I'm like, this is like an area we've never seen in Kingdom Hearts before, right? With like this guild and everything, and so there's like a lot of like weird plot implications that people don't really understand what's going on. It looks like some Bloodborne hullabaloo. It kind of does. It really does a little bit. Is it Mickey Mouse and King Heart? Yes, they are, and they're like main characters. So basically, my understanding for the licensing is that the game is owned by by Disney, but they license Square Enix to develop the game and use whatever Disney properties that they feel is appropriate. But everything that Disney is used for has to be approved by Disney. Yeah, this was the canceled Kingdom Hearts game. Yeah, it's very Final Fantasy-esque, which is really sick. Like, this looks like you could tell me this is Final Fantasy 16 or Final Fantasy 17, and I would totally believe you, right? It's not, I wouldn't say it's a bait and switch. It's just a very convoluted plot line. That's really the main problem with Kingdom Hearts, if you don't understand. And I'm not gonna describe it today. I think what I'll do in the future is I'll dedicate a stream and I will recite the entire plot of Kingdom Hearts 1 through 3, all the side games and side stories, while drawing it poorly, and you will understand the absolute absurdity of this 24-year franchise that I have a weird encyclopedic knowledge about, because I have played every game in the franchise at least twice, except for Coded, because Coded sucks. Anyways, so that was the Kingdom Hearts Missing Link trailer. So they canceled this in 2025. It was meant to be a mobile game. It was like the weirdest part of it that I don't think anyone really wanted. Okay, so here's the thing. This game is supposed to be a miss the link between 3, right? So it's supposed to bridge the gap from 3 to 4, and you're gonna hate this. You see, Missing Link is actually another prequel. It is a prequel, not just to 1, but to the entire franchise. This game essentially is supposed to take place 4 generations before Kingdom Hearts 1 and all the characters that take place in it. Bait and switch and problems, like if you look, can you try a new convoluted game with F characters only in the first game? Oh, I mean, to be fair, I think the Final Fantasy characters weren't super popular, and they still have some of them in future titles too. Why did that one cast make you think it was a part of the Imperator class sites from Warhammer 40k? Because trust me, if you ever look at some of the designs in Kingdom Hearts, they are very like a mix of science fiction and fantasy. So yeah, this was supposed to be a prequel to the entire franchise, which means the actual timeline for the entire franchise, which I will explain this in a future stream, okay? That means the chronological timeline for this stupid franchise is we're gonna use abbreviations here. You have Missing Link, which leads into Union Cross, which leads into Birth by Sleep, which leads into Kingdom Hearts 1. Okay, now you have your main game, which then leads into Chain of Memories, which then, but Kingdom Hearts 1 also splits off into 3, and then Chain of Memories immediately leads into 358 over 2 days, which, however, Chain of Memories also leads directly into Kingdom Hearts 2, but 358 over 2 days actually is a prequel to Kingdom Hearts 2, so you need to play both of them to really get an understanding. But 358 over 2 days comes out after Kingdom Hearts 2, so it's mostly like a way to get more fleshed out storyline. And then after Kingdom Hearts 2, you go into Coded, which is completely irrelevant and no one cares about it at all. Kingdom Hearts 2 actually then also leads into the main proper sequel is Dream Drop Distance, which then leads into Kingdom Hearts 2.8. And I'm not even joking, there's an actual game called 2.8. And then that leads you into Kingdom Hearts 3. And then you're supposed to play Missing Link, which is supposed to lead into Kingdom Hearts 4. Yeah. Welcome to Kingdom Hearts. We're not going to explain this all today, but I will explain all of this. The Disney, the parents didn't want to scrap budget Disney make Mouse Club Season 29. God. So, anyways, the other Kingdom Hearts, so Missing Link, the trailer we just watched, got canceled last year. They had a CBT, and no one was like, everyone was just like, why? And we're starting to learn a little bit more about what was supposed to happen because of all the leaks and all that stuff, and people were kind of excited for it. So I have played basically every mainline game in this franchise at least twice. I think I've played Kingdom Hearts 2 like 4 times because it's so good, and I've definitely done like all the boss fights in Kingdom Hearts 3, like the special bonus fights and everything, because I really enjoy this game franchise. It's stupid, but it's fun. It is a lot of fun, and it kind of appeals to that weird angsty teenager vibe that some people really have because of the sheer amount of times that darkness, light, and friendship end up. And it gets a little insane, especially once you start like learning the specific terminology. Like you'll hear words like, you know, heartless. Like, what's a heartless? Well, I'll tell you what a heartless is. A heartless is a heart that has, basically, for example, one example that happens is that, you know, a person, right, depending on what happens, can split into 2 things. One becomes a heartless, and the other becomes a nobody. And essentially, this is a heartless is a heart that's been tainted with darkness, and a nobody is a body without a heart for some reason, even though technically you would technically use the opposite terminology, right? Because a body with no heart is technically a heartless, and a, you know, and a heart without a body is a nobody. But they just you know, they just kind of mess, they just change it. Yeah, so people, no, yes, so basically what can sometimes happen depending on the plot is that a character can have themselves split into a heartless and a nobody, okay? But if the protagonist kills both the heartless and the nobody, they fuse back together. Okay, they will fuse back together. And they will become whole again. And this whole person is called a somebody. And I wish I was joking when I say this. So I am not joking when I say this. Essentially, when a... No, they are called a somebody. Yes, they are called a somebody. I don't know how to I really wish I was joking, but it's true. They've become a somebody because a nobody merging with the, you know, a husk merging with their soul becomes a somebody because they're made whole again. This is not a joke. This is the actual plot line. There's a lot of other weird terms I'm not going to get into. Like, you have things like, you know, the Keyblades, and then you have, like, the Keyblade War, and then you have the... Wait until you start learning why certain characters have like X's in their names, because, like, you have characters whose names are, like, Axel, but his true name is actually Lee. But the X here represents that he's part of Organization 13. But that X is not actually an X. This X is actually what we call the Recusant Sigil, because it's there to track a person. It's essentially an evil sign, like a devil mark on a person, but they put it in their name so they can be tracked by the main villain called Xehanort, and uses these recusant sigils on these people to essentially track them and also imbue a part of his soul into them, because he's eventually going to try to possess their bodies, and that's what we call getting Norded in the Kingdom Hearts universe. So if you've ever seen the meme of Aqua got Norded, you know, that video by ProZD, that's essentially what it means. Essentially, it's Xehanort's soul is being imbued into the individual, and then they're becoming Xehanort, and that's what we call getting Norded. I really wish I was joking when I said this, but you end up with a lot of characters with like a lot of weird names. Like, for example, you know, Sora gets a nobody, but all the Organization 13 members are nobodies. Like, Sora becomes Roxas because they have to have an A in there. Yeah, they have to have the X, you know, it kind of goes like this. And then you'll have other names like, you know, Zigbar, but his actual name is Braig. Whoa. Why does Roxas look like Ventus? I'm not gonna get into that. We're not going into a deep dive into Kingdom Hearts, but I wanted to talk a little bit about it because I love this franchise and it's so stupid. And when they said that Kingdom Hearts 4 is coming out like in 2020, probably 27 or 28, I was like, sign me the fuck up. I don't have an Xbox, I don't have a PlayStation, but they better come out on PC and I will play it day one. Yeah, wait until you find out what's going on, and with like the 7 Princesses of Light, which actually stop mattering halfway through the plot line because Xehanort needs the 7 shards of light and the 7 shards and the 13 shards of darkness to make the Keyblade, because his ultimate, basically the main villain's goal is he's trying to make this thing called the Keyblade, right? And it's basically like an X-shaped Keyblade, kind of like this. It's kind of stupid. And it's called the Keyblade because it uses the Greek letter key, which is, you know, spelled like this, but you pronounce it like this. And that's why this thing is called the Keyblade. And I really wish I was joking when I said this, but this is actually the main villain's plot. Because the Keyblade tries to turn, is supposed to like create the new, you know, like reignite the Keyblade War, but to do this he needs the, you know, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you know, versus the 13, you know, bad guys. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then this will create the Keyblade War, and then all the bad things will happen and he completes his job. This is so stupid. Ventus Spirit went into Sora, which made him a Keyblade wielder, which influenced nobody wants to look like Ventus. I mean, trust me, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I remember that happens in Birth by Sleep. Yeah, so again, so the Keyblade War is basically a event that takes place a long time ago. Keyblade War is primarily explained in yeah, the Keyblade War is primarily explained in Union Cross, which is a mobile game that did exist for a while, but got canceled, but they left an offline mode, I believe, so you can play the game and experience all those cutscenes without having to have played the game, which is great because there's a lot of deep lore in here, which I'm not going to get into, but you start learning about things like the Foreteller's prophecy. There's some time travel shenanigans that are going on. There's like the Master of Masters who's got a sword that he sends into the future so he can see the things in the past and write it in his book of prophecies. And there's a lot of other nonsense too. It is insanity. And then on top of that, yeah, and then you actually have the Disney villains that sometimes actually are relevant. Like Mickey Mouse is the king, and obviously Minnie is his queen, and Mickey goes on wacky adventures, loses his shirt at some point, fights the darkness, etc., etc. Darkness, darkness, light, light, darkness, darkness, light, heartless, nobody. So there's a lot of like weird insanity that goes on in Kingdom Hearts, and I really want to dedicate a stream to talking about it. We're not going to do that today, but yeah, there's some very funny stuff that goes on. Okay, I'm gonna hope this works. Okay, it hasn't crashed when I try to do this. Okay, we're gonna do a wait, what is the, I have a file that I use for all my Star Sector portraits. I gotta find it. So the timeline for the Disney worlds are very like timey-wimey, and the fact that literally they don't matter. Most of the Disney worlds straight up are irrelevant, and so you can completely ignore all of the Disney worlds. I think the only ones that matter are, like, the only Disney characters that matter are Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy. There's a bunch of other ones. Hello, Sai, how are you doing? I think Merlin and Yensid and what are the other main ones that matter? Oh, Maleficent and Pete are like the only ones that matter in Star Sector, or sorry, in Kingdom Hearts. It's so stupid. Yeah. Okay, where does my Star Sector portrait file go? Oh, here we go. I found it. Okay. My God, my portraits are terrible. You know what I kind of want to do? Maybe instead of redrawing these portraits, I think what I'm gonna do, because a lot of these look terrible, I might just try to draw one of these like from scratch, kind of how I did for the Anya one, which looked, because I ended up redrawing one of these at some point. Like I took this one and I redrew this one as like a proper portrait at some point. Maybe I'll do that. Let's see if I can find it, because it turned into this at some point. The three fairies don't matter. They're irrelevant. You don't want Star Sector portrait, it won't be chosen for a mod. That will sword fighter, you can do this. I mean, what mod is it for? The who, where, and why. So the thing is, like, again, so the main issue with Kingdom Hearts 4 is that, God, I really want to explain this, but the general gist of it is that at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, and again, I'm just gonna spit out a shit ton of spoilers. Kingdom Hearts 3, at the end of it, Sora, in order to rescue Kairi from death, more or less sacrifices his own existence in the current world, and he gets sent off to an alternative world which looks a lot like modern day Japan, and so he is no longer in the same world as Riku and Kairi, but he's got to go deal with another darker character called I don't remember the dude's name, but he was like a secret boss in Kingdom Hearts 3. Can't control it, you understand, it still feels really dumb. Oh, trust me, Kingdom Hearts is insane, and I will one day do a full stream where I will describe the entire plot of Kingdom Hearts from 1 through 3, all the side stories, and I will recall it completely from memory, except for Coded, because no one cares about Coded. Literally, Coded doesn't matter. Okay. If you want to play Kingdom Hearts, for whatever reason, because maybe I have inspired you to play this stupid franchise, just play it in release order. Like, all you have to do is you go buy Kingdom Hearts Integrum, which is a compilation of all the Kingdom Hearts games for PC. I believe they turned 358 over 2 days into only cutscenes. They skipped Coded completely, but you will be able to play 1, Chain of Memories, 2, Dream Drop Distance, Birth by Sleep, 3, cutscenes for 3 over 2 days. I think Coded gets some cutscenes, if not just text files. You get a Union Cross movie, and then you get 2.8, an interlude, and you get access to what's the last one called? 3. So what's Riku's part in all of this? Oh boy, he's basically the foil and the yaoi partner for Sora, depending on who you ask, because that is essentially what some of the people that I knew were very into shipping them together, because some of the people I knew when I was in middle school were Fujoshis, and it was like, no, Riku's not just there. He is a huge driving force of the things. This is one of the characters for the Star Sector mod that I was half working on. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one of these portraits that I don't like, and we're just gonna redraw it as like a more proper full body. The question is, which one do I want to redraw? I don't like drawing drills. This one's already dead. Your head hurts? Have you considered coffee? I don't know what happened here. This one broke. God, I don't know what happened. Let's see. I don't think I want to redraw the old one. Maybe this one? I just realized a lot of the ones I'm drawing have like slightly darker skin. I am a sucker for large bows like this in the back. Maybe we draw... This one might be kind of interesting to draw. Alright, let's try this one. I think this one would be kind of interesting. Reimu? Which one's the Reimu one? This one? Problem is I don't really know how to draw. It's been a while since I drew, so we'll have to try drawing something, and we'll just pretend. like I know what I'm doing. Okay, so we're gonna go back here. I'm gonna just purge all of this. Okay, how do I draw? All right, it's been a while. Let's see if I can do this. First and foremost, let's get rid of all the nonsense that I drew. But again, we'll do a proper Kingdom Hearts discussion stream at some point, because again, I love the franchise and I played the franchise ever since when I was a kid. I got Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts 1 came out I think when I was 7. I played it. I beat it when I was like 8, I think, and then I played every single Kingdom Hearts after that, and I have a weird encyclopedic knowledge about most of the plot beats, if not the entire thing. Clip the whole thing. We might make it we might make it a highlight, but when we get to when we do the real stream, we'll discuss it. I'm sure someone's out there like listening to the stream and like, what the fuck is this idiot talking about? And I'm like, listen, it's fun for me, okay? Why there was a game with cards? What do you mean there was a game with... Oh, you mean Chain of Memories? Because every one of those cards is supposed to represent like Sora's memory of like fighting, and because of that, also they just needed an excuse to have a slightly different game mechanic, because every single one of them has slightly different game mechanics. Yeah, you're gonna need... You know that one image? You know that one conspiracy meme image? It's basically this. This is me with Kingdom Hearts. I really wish I was joking. This is me with Kingdom Hearts, because I was like, I can basically point to where everything leads to in a way for the main plot. And it's insane. Because again, I played a lot of this. It's actually I will say it is a really fun action RPG. It's very floaty, so just keep that in mind if it's something you ultimately want to give a shot, that it's a very floaty game. And so if you're not comfortable with like super floaty mechanics, you know, just be aware. Okay, my controller died. I need to reboot this thing. How do they put the memory into cards? Because essentially what happens is there's another character named Namine who is essentially sapping Sora's memories out of him. And okay, we're gonna use this one, I think. Yeah. Oh, do I want to do the granny? I think I want to do the granny. Not terribly fond of doing that one. Maybe do this one. Oh my gosh, a raid. Oh, hello there, Admiral Y11. How are you doing? Oh my gosh, you're a Star Sector streamer, aren't you? Look, I clicked your profile and I immediately saw Star Sector things, so I'm pretty sure that's Star Sector. How are you doing? Thank you for whoever did the shout out. How are you doing, Admiral? And also, hello, Milanin. Welcome aboard, comrades. We're trying to... I was working on a Star Sector mod a while ago, and I figured, well, let me try to draw some more portraits for it. So I'm trying to figure out, but what I ended up doing was I kind of am going through some of the older ones. They kind of suck, and just trying to redraw them. But I'm trying to figure out which one I want to redraw as a full, proper image. But thank you for the raid, I appreciate it very much. Hopefully your run was going well in Star Sector. Just start exploring Kingdom Hearts again. Oh god. Well, one day we'll do Kingdom Hearts again. Meanwhile, we read the image of Gigi. I require context fields. Oh, trust me, it's gonna be really nasty. How about this? How about next week, Tuesday, we will do the Kingdom Hearts explaining the entire plot line stream. How about that? Okay. Next week, Tuesday, we'll do it. You had so many difficulties about fencing minigame. Wait, what fencing minigame? Is it from UAF? Does UAF have a fencing minigame? I don't remember that. How many months is New York started? You feel like lost decade. Trust me, it's been like, okay, so it's been like it's almost been like a year since I actually touched it. You actually looked at the UFO, there's no idea how you promoted the highlights. So what I was doing for the highlights was, and I'm not even joking when I say this, is I literally have a layer at the very back, and it's literally just like a brush, like a spray paint layer that just adds like a slight color tone to the back. That's literally it. It's probably not the correct way to do it, but for the most part it works. Ultimately what I'm going to do is I'll probably take this one and make this one the new portrait, and then I'll just add some highlights or whatever to make it correct. And by the way, in case you're not familiar, this is the Necogradian uniform that Alana drew for the Rimworld mod, and we're just kind of reusing it also for this mod set as well. It's kind of cool that I know so much. Again, playing the game, like when you play a franchise for 24 years, you start to develop weird encyclopedic knowledge about it, especially when the plot line and the game just has such a huge effect on your life as a child. Like I also have like a large encyclopedic knowledge of Pokemon up to Generation 4. After that, my knowledge of Pokemon starts to get a little hazy. I can probably explain Gen 5 pretty well, but once you start hitting Gen 6, which I believe was the Alola region, no, that was the France region, I kind of start to stop knowing what's going on in Pokemon. So, you know. But yeah, I didn't know there was a fencing minigame in UAF. I did not know that. So, this is the Anya portrait. So I think what we'll do is we'll draw... Let's see here. So, we can either do... I don't think I want to do the granny one. I think we'll either do Green Hair Chan, who I think the canon is that she's blind. Oh, it's a vanilla feature, really? You want to show them, but honestly, how do you do Imager? If you want to share images, Imager is probably fine, or uploading it to something like Catbox is probably a quick, easy way to do it. I don't really like this one too much. Maybe this one? Maybe this is the one we'll draw. Okay, hello, Infidave. Normal art one instead of the Kingdom Hearts plot dump. Okay, so... Okay, I have an idea. I think the easier way for me to do this, I'm just gonna go find my Star Sector mod folder that I was working on, which is mods, Nekograd, portraits, graphics, portraits, and then dump in... can never balance anymore. Balancing is a very hard act to do. At least you're trying. Okay. So this is the one we're gonna try to redraw. The problem is I need to figure out like a pose for this type of thing, and I wish I had more examples that I was looking at on Twitter before I started this, but oh well, I kind of forgot. I mean, it was a long time ago. People don't really do the bouncing anymore for polls. Just takes one person. Yeah, it's very easy to also just kind of break the balance too. I'm trying to think what this person's personality would be. What would this person's personality be? Let's see. Probably mildly annoyed all the time. A psychopath? You think this one's a psychopath? Is every Necrogradian just actually a secret killer? Like a secret murderous psychopath? Wait, that's actually kind of... Wait, no, hold on. Ray might be onto something. What if every Necrogradian was actually just slightly insane? Well, that is actually really nice art. Holy moly, that's really good. Oh wait, yeah, that's right. I remember you showing us some of your art before. Yeah, this is good stuff. I remember you came in and you showed it. I was like, wait, this is actually really good stuff. I like this art, Avineko. Yeah, hopefully this gets into the mod that you're trying to get submitted to. Yeah, this is good stuff. Okay, so what I'm hearing is every Necrogradian is actually just somewhat insane. Got it. Okay. Now this music is so sad. This is supposed to be Kingdom Hearts relaxing music. Let's see, what else I want to listen to? You forgot how magical Kingdom Hearts music is. There we go. The Keyblades, Mason, what do they mean? I mean, like I said, we already drew...
I promise I'll come back and visit you now and then.
Alright, calm down, Sora. I just need to listen to Kingdom Hearts music. Alright, let's see if I can draw this. I have an idea for this, but I have to see if I can pull this off. Again, I don't have that much skill, and I don't draw too often, which is kind of the big problemo. Oh, trust me. So, Hayashi, essentially what I decided is next week on Tuesday, we will sit down and we will do a full stream where I describe the entire plot line and draw it at the same time. And it will look terrible. It will look awful, but we will try our best. Okay. So, if we're gonna make them look insane... Let's see if I remember how to draw anything, because it's been a while. We'll use like a... What do I normally use? I think I normally like using a red for the base, right? I think I normally will use a slightly larger brush for this. I don't think this one's going to be full body, but it might be, depending on how I feel. What do I normally do? I think I normally start with a circle, right? And then... try to align it the way... Oh my gosh, I just realized my art tablet is slightly tilted. You're for MS Paint Kingdom. Don't worry, we'll do MS Paint Kingdom Hearts at some point. I think there'll be a time for it. It's just not right now. and I need to figure out like how am I gonna actually describe it, because I might need to prepare some PowerPoint slides because of the absolute insanity of the plot line. God, it's been so long since I've drawn. For emphasis, I haven't done art in nearly like a year, I think. I think that Anya one was drawn like a year ago, because I just don't draw that much, and it's kind of a problem. I really wish I drew more frequently, but what are you gonna do? Like, this is probably fine, right? And then we'll do something like here. That's about where it should go. Okay. Assetto Corsa. I used to play Assetto Corsa quite a bit. I don't play it as much anymore. Clockwork Orange, like you draw an animation. I'm not a good artist, is the problem. And I say this all the time, but like doing art for me is like so difficult because I just don't feel like I'm good at it. And I know that's like super nonsensical and whatnot. But that's just kind of how it is. Send it in memes. Am I about to be concerned? What did you send me? Oh my god. Alright, I see it. Yeah, that's a thing, alright. Yeah, I get it. Okay. It's music, I'm not sure how I feel about it. Is this how anime heads are constructed? I really don't remember how anime heads are constructed anymore. Okay, well, we'll use my tools that I have at my disposal. I'll try to do this somewhat quickly so we're not just stuck here watching me waffle about. It'll describe the entire timeline for you. Like I said, I will explain it one day. Just not yet. Trust me, there's a lot of weird encyclopedic knowledge I have of different things, but Kingdom Hearts is just one of those that I have like a painfully large knowledge about. I think her eyes are very... Are they like Tamare or more Sumire? I think they're more, let's see. Yeah, that's probably fine. Alright, let's try this. Oh, let me make sure I have autosaves turned on. Just in case this crashes again. I don't want this to, like, explode and then I lose everything that I was working on. Because I think at that point I'd actually just give up. 60 undo levels. Okay, here we go. Okay, save every 5 minutes. There we go. Okay, that way this will always have backups ready to go and I'll be perfectly content with whatever happens. So anyways, let's see if I can do this. But yeah. So there's a lot of things I like about Kingdom Hearts, but it's such a bit of a mess. We'll talk about it a little bit while I'm doing this because I think it's still kind of fun to yap about. But yeah. Let's see if I know how to do this. I really need to look at more references for stuff. There's like certain ratios for like doing this, and it's been quite some time since I've had to do this. Let's see here. There's a thing I was looking at as kind of like a helpful guide. Let me pull this up real quick, just so I have an idea how I do this. Okay. Let's see if I remember how to draw eyes. Shoot, okay, that's kind of the problem too. Got it. So anyways, yeah. Like I said, been playing the franchise for a very long time, and you just kind of... I think it's fun, but just keep in mind that it's a very silly franchise, and it takes... The main thing that makes it very funny is that it takes itself, like, super seriously when it's, like, not that deep. She's got big eyes. It's okay. I'll ask if I need help. Hopefully I'll figure this out. I can probably do something, at least myself, at the very least. This has to be, like... I remember these have to be, like, the same height. And the music, I will say, is very, very wonderful in Kingdom Hearts. And that's part of the reason why I think a lot of people just like really enjoy it. So when you're putting the Kingdom Hearts perspective in the BGM, like I said, we're already listening to Kingdom Hearts music. I don't know what you want. Okay, so yeah, my head construction is definitely off, but that's fine because we'll just... My solution is just hide everything with what's it called? There should be like another line that's kind of like around here. Maybe I actually drew the eye too low. Maybe that's part of the problem. If I move the eyes up, does that fix it? That was a little better. You know, some video essays. There's a lot. I mean, there's a bajillion video essays about these games because of how much is going on with them, and so that's perfectly fine. Okay, that's probably a good expression that we can work with, and then so we can probably just we're just trying to get the bare bones going here, just to kind of get this functioning. I honestly have no idea how I drew the other one, quite frankly. I think I used a 3D model to help out, but for this one, if we're just doing like a bust up, I want to see if I can avoid using a 3D model here. Okay, so maybe I shouldn't have done that actually. Maybe it's actually more correct here. Okay, you know what? Hold on. I know what I need to do because this is going to drive me crazy. It's a lot easier if I can just have this open on the side here. Okay, you know, I don't listen to Kingdom Hearts music. What's another good OST that's not gonna get me in trouble by the powers that be at YouTube? Mysterious and mythical Yu-Gi-Oh! OST. Sure, why not? I like Yu-Gi-Oh! I used to play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was younger too, but I don't play it anymore. Actually, this is the anime OST. I think this will actually get me in trouble. One thing I've learned is you can generally get away with playing video game music on stream. It's a lot harder to get away with playing anime OST on stream, which is kind of annoying, unfortunately. It really doesn't matter on the Twitch side, but on the YouTube side it matters a little bit more, so I'm generally a little more careful. Okay, so God, let's see if I remember how to do any of this. So okay, so what I've done is her hair is kind of split. Oh my gosh. Let me just erase the guides real quick, because I don't need these anymore. And we'll again, let's just kind of just get the basic sketch out. Sometimes I'm amazed at my own ability to draw, and then I'm amazed at my own inability to remember how to do it. Because she just kind of has, like, you know, the split hair thing going on, and then it flows out from here. I can already tell this is gonna look terrible. The inability to do art. One day, you know, the solution is to just practice more, but I'm like, man, practicing is hard. You know what I think is part of the problem, actually? Hold on, I have an idea. I think part of the problem is I'm making this a little too rounded. If I do something like this, and then... How did I do the Anya one? I think I do keep the neck a little thinner. Practicing is hard because, yeah, I mean, consistency is the hard part. That's not incorrect, and I'm sure anyone here with proper art skill would probably agree with, like, yes, if you just practiced more, I probably would have the ability to draw something pretty amazing if I was willing to actually just sit down and practice a little more. Isn't that crazy how that'd be? I'm trying to figure out how to get the eyes to more seem like they're facing the viewer, and I think that's part of the problem, that I don't know what I'm doing here. When was the last art stream? A long time ago. It was a long while ago. And this area is a hot mess. Let's erase. Actually, no, don't erase that wholly. Just kind of clean that up a little bit. And maybe clean it up just a tad touch. Actually, what if we make her eyes a little more menacing type deal? God. Oh wait, no, hold on, I see the problem. Okay, wait, hold on. So her eyes are definitely a little sharp, but not like completely sharp. It's just like a half sharpness. And then if we do the same thing, this easy way to do this. So I'm just doing the sketching, waiting for Kenshi too. Are you waiting for me to do a Kenshi stream, or do you mean there's like an actual game called Kenshi 2 coming out at some point? Which is a whole different problem, considering I have not really played Kenshi. I played it like once on stream, and we never did it ever again, which is a little unfortunate, but I've always thought maybe one day we'll revisit Kenshi. Just, not anytime soon, you know what I mean? Is this still Nintendo music? My god. God, I really don't know how to do eyes. What the fuck? Okay, wait, hold on. Oh, you know what? I see the problem. Okay, wait, hold on. I see the issue here. Okay, hold on. You know, I might need a head. I might need like a 3D model head to just kind of get started, actually. I feel bad doing that because I'm trying to not do that as much because it's kind of a crutch, but it's one of those things where I might actually need it. This is not looking correct, unfortunately. Spam liquefy. Oh, we're not even on the right layer here. That's the problem. There we go. I did have some guidelines, then I erased them, and I'm just like, all right, I have an idea. All right, hold on, I know how to do this. Scrap the entire thing. Okay, let's try this. Keep on saying for these models. That's fine to use them. I just only need like a. I just need the head slightly adjusted so I can kind of get the general expression that I want, and then we can kind of work from there. I have an idea in my head what I want to do, but I need to just get the bare bones pose running. Let's see. That's a little too ubu moe. Draw a circle with a pen for the whole iris and just accordingly after. Wait, that's not a bad idea, actually. I might have to do that. But we still want her looking at you. Okay, this should be fine, actually. I think we'll work with this. And then... I just need the head. And then we'll rotate slightly, looking around this way. Because the eyes should be looking at you. Maybe I don't like that pose, actually. God, I wish modeling in Blender was this easy, because I know it's not nearly this good. If modeling in Blender was this easy, that would be so much nicer. Ooh, actually, wait a second. Hold on. Maybe this type of pose? And then she's looking at you like you're disgusting. That could be a thing, too. Oh my gosh, I can't believe Zoingo's at 120. Hi, Zoingo. How are you doing, comrade? Zoom that in a little bit. Alright, we'll work with this. That seems fine. Okay, so we're gonna... I normally like to turn this blue and then lower the opacity down significantly, and then we can kind of get the general guidelines. Just pick up a Chainsmoker. I don't... Okay, so here's the thing. I did not watch Chainsmoker Cat. I know a lot of people that are, like, really into it, but... I could not get into it that much. It's just not the show for me is the problem. And that's just more of like it's just not for me. Oh, I'm remembering how I did this now. Holy moly. Okay, so I remember what I did was I just drew a big red circle like this, right? And then the way I did this was then I used this as like the general guideline, right? So I would draw like a thicker, like this, and then I would draw the rest of it in. Like that, and then I started erasing parts of the circle to match what I needed. That's what I did before. Holy cow. Yeah, I'm remembering this. Because then I switched to the eraser tool, and I just grabbed like a size, I don't know, 350 or 300 brush. I had a perfect circle that I could then use as like a guideline for whatever I needed to do. That's what I was doing before. I don't know why it suddenly like came back to me. This was like my method. And then from, oh shoot. And then from there I can kind of adjust it. Anyways, how are you doing, Zygo? Hopefully you're having a good evening. Is this the method you use too? Well, look, if it works, right? Also, hello, Iron Laza. Hopefully you're having a good evening. I don't want to copy exactly the model, but I just need, again, a general... I need something to work with. Because I usually put the ear a little lower, like around here. And then I usually make the neck a lot thinner too. The neck is... I don't like drawing thick necks, so I generally draw something like this, and then I'll just kind of break this down into like generic blocks until I can get a better idea of what I need to do. I know this is not the right way to do things, but I just need something to work with for now. Okay, and then same thing over here. Okay, so that should be fine. Okay. Hello, but yes, Jim Critmaker, how can I help you? Draw a line halfway from, that's the eye line. So this is like the eye line here. And then it's the nose line here, right? Then if I draw the eye... I know it's supposed to be like one eye of space in between is like the other main thing too. You know what, hold on. Better idea is I draw this on a separate layer and then use a slightly different color. And then... use a slightly different color, I can probably start to pencil in like what this is supposed to look like. I want it to look like she's looking at the viewer. Something like that probably is correct. And then all you gotta do is resize this until it's correct, which makes this a little bigger, because it should be about the same height. And then something like that is probably correct. Okay. Because they last work. Alright, have a good night. Thank you for joining us on this terrible art stream. Hopefully you have a good rest. Do we even know want this pose? I have an idea for this, but probably this is not the final pose, is my guess. My guess is that I probably actually want this hand like moving down slightly, in the sense that it should be like one of these tools is the one that lets me interact with this. Yeah, realistically, probably what I want is I want this arm like moved down a little bit. I don't know. I have an idea. I think what it is it has to be turned in a little bit more. And then this elbow, this arm is moved up slightly. Kind of like that, I think, is what the pose is gonna be. It's not a very crazy pose, not a very dynamic pose, but it's supposed to be functional. And then what I'm actually gonna want to do, since I don't need this right now, is I'm gonna merge these two layers together. And wow, that is some really loud music. Let me fix that. Is this some, what's this? Is this some Kingdom Hearts? Oh, this is Mario. Relaxing Nintendo Cafe music. God, every music mix is just Mario music. I like Mario music, but there's only so much Mario music I can handle before I start to go slowly insane. That's why a lot of times I try to find some better music. Actually, you know what's really good music? I started listening to more Deltarune OST. I haven't played the new chapters yet, and I really fell in love with every single mix of Pedal Dance that I have found. Pedal Dance is such a good song. It's probably like it's probably like my favorite track in what's it called? In Deltarune so far. It is just so... It's so Toho coded, is the best way to describe it. Like, painfully so, that if you've played a Toho game, it will sound incredibly familiar, and complete with the Zun pits. The Zun pits, I guess is what we call it. The Zun trumpets. And I'm feeling an ear guy, you know, with the bangs. Well, one, I don't like drawing bangs, but also, I like bangs and stuff. It kind of depends on like what the bangs are supposed to be. Okay, so what I do now is, now that I have this, I actually do another layer, and this is the one where I'm going to switch to black, and then I'm going to start drawing in the bits and pieces that matter. My effective drawing area is so tiny, by the way. Oh, I forgot to open Caster Labs, or did I? Did I have Caster Labs open this whole time? Yes, I'm not an... Okay, I'm not an idiot. Okay, perfect. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back here. I'm gonna hide this because I don't need this, and then we're gonna, now we can draw this in, and we'll use a slightly lower brush here. Because it's not supposed to be, like, she doesn't have like super like moe eyes. She does have a little bit of like a sharpness to her look, so I want to make sure we capture that as best I can. Oh boy, that doesn't look right. Okay. Okay, and then we'll do the other one here too. One thing I'm learning from watching a lot of, because I've been reading a lot of manga recently, is that it's totally okay to draw the eyes outside of the head. You should not feel bad about it, because that's what I think a lot of people do anyways. Just kind of accept that this is going to happen and you'll be fine. But yeah, I do enjoy some good old Toho stuff. There was that Toho game that came out, Tohopia, that I was like, ooh, I kind of want to give this a shot at some point. It seems kind of interesting. And I might need to give it a play if I ever get my hands on it. Actually, wait, if we're trying to keep them a little insane, I have an idea. Wait, no, hold on. If we're trying to make them look a little insane, what we're gonna do, because we're looking from above, right? I've got to be more expressive with the eyes. Like that? That's my opinion on Lost World. We're not kidding. They're not all completely insane. Wait, what do you mean Lost World? Jurassic Park? Or Toho? I don't think I played Toho Lost World at all. Even when angry, I can call it part do not. I know which one you're talking about. We're not gonna do like that, or I'm just trying to give them like an expression that at least is a little, I don't know how to describe it. Smug might be the correct term. But, you know. Maybe like that, and then we can start to draw on the other parts of the face. I think this is one where this might actually be, might make that a little higher, and the mouth should be like here. And then I think the rest of the face we can kind of start to pencil in a sneer. Yeah, I don't know how to do mouths, so that's kind of the problem that we're running into, isn't it? But yeah, I never played Lost World, so I don't really know what it's about, other than that it's a mobile game, I think involving dice or something like that, and I just did not care. I don't play a lot of mobile games. I try not to, just because it's not necessary. If that makes sense, I try not to. Oh yeah, we could copy that mouth. Actually, hold on. I mean, to be fair, this mouth is fairly simple. Okay, you know what? I need to start drawing with smaller brushes. A mouth like this is just very much like, you know, it's just like a, it's almost like a sneer. But if I make the, actually, hold on, if I make the fang a little larger, and then let's start drawing the rest of her head in. Because she does have like that hairband, so this should sweep in, and this should sweep out. And then should have the hairband, because it's, let me rotate this a little bit, so. I do not know how to draw lines. Holy moly, I suck at this. You know, I know what's going on. Hold on, let me zoom out a little bit. I think I'm zooming in too much. Let me zoom out. And then we can then carve in like this. And then we can see if this looks correct. Yeah, I think part of this is just making sure that it looks right. And just, again, this is just like the kind of the sketch layer. I usually do like 10 different sketch layers before I'm pleased with the results. Yeah, because this is not supposed to sweep out that direction. And then we'll see how this looks in the end. should actually... Oh, you know what? I see the problem. So, because it's like this, it should probably look like this. You know what? Hold on. Oh, okay. It's starting to come together. Okay, so that's fine. Let's get rid of this lines. Get rid of these, because it's getting in the way. Okay. But yeah. So anyways... The right eye could be higher. It might need to be a little higher. I'll probably adjust it. Again, just trying to get this functioning. And then let's get the general face framing with the hair. And then we can kind of start to pencil in what the actual head's supposed to look like. I think it's supposed to be... I do want it to be a little more cutesy, so I think we will make it come in at like a lower angle like this. I think one thing I've noticed is that a lot of good artists, they actually don't finagle the lines. They just kind of commit to a line and call it a day. Wish I could do that. Unfortunately, I don't have that skill set necessary to pull off such a maneuver. And you can see it's not actually like angled correctly, so this actually should be more like this. I think, right? Let's see, sketch layer? Yeah, exactly. This is a sketch layer, so it's fine to make mistakes. Just trying to keep it neat as much as possible before we redraw it again. The expression is, she wasn't as mean in this one, but I think she's definitely turning a little meaner in this. I don't think that I draw the neck in the Anya one. I drew it fairly thin. I don't even know what brush size I was using here, good lord. I think I draw the neck thin and not super long either, so something like this is probably fine. And then, let's see. Oh, it moved. That's awkward. That's really awkward. Oh shoot, was I drawing on the wrong layer again? I hate it when I draw on the wrong layer. Oh, that's right. Okay, so I tilted the head slightly, so it should be more... Okay, got it. So I think what I was doing, so I gotta go do this again and fix it, is that here, the head is supposed to be... Maybe I don't tilt the head. Kinda want to, though. Let's see. Doesn't happen if you label them? What do you mean? Who names their layers? You think I head out and notice your body? Alright, have a good night, Zero. Thank you for joining us today. Okay, see, I think we tilted the head to give it a little bit more of a slightly dynamic pose. Maybe that might be a little too much of a tilt, but we'll see. See how I feel about this. 200 layers per drawing. God, I can't imagine that at all. That's a lot of layers. Okay, how did I draw it on Anya? Maybe I need to make the collar for this one a little more. I know exactly what you're talking about for the glasses pose, because I have that as a toggle on this model. So I'm trying to think how high her ears should be is kind of the other problem. I really just need to commit and just sketch it in. Like that, it's probably fine. It doesn't look right. I think the heights are slightly off, but whatever. It's workable. That's fine. Because then you kind of have the fluff here, fluff in this one too. We have the hair piece here, which is good, which is what we want. If I hide this and this. This looks like a very angry... what's the pink horse from Uma Musume? Haru Urara? It's starting to look like a very angry Haru Urara. And this is not at all intended. And then we'll just kind of draw the body in here. So real quick, because again, we're trying to sketch in the thing. So we should have the basic collar, which is gonna, the chest is about here. Actually, if I adjust the neck line, what I think I want to do is I'll make it like... I think it should be more like here. Is this Persona 5? I think this is Persona 5. Destiny Child. It's kind of jazzy. Oh my gosh, wait, I can really jam with this. Does this game always have good music? It's actually the type of music I would absolutely just jam to regularly. Now play You Say Run. I'm not gonna play. You Say Run does go with everything, but we're not gonna do You Say Run. The problem is I don't know how to draw braids, and these do need to kind of transition into braids. So we'll worry about that in a bit. Let's try to get the rest of the outfit up and running though. So I think it would look something like this. Actually, no, it'd be a little tighter around like here. The problem is it's not much. I'm not lining up with the body, which is kind of the main issue. Because I normally, again, I draw necks fairly thin, and this body does not have a thin neck, which is kind of the big issue. Ain't it? And there's not really a way to adjust it either. I think. Yeah. Okay, so let's just let's go back to here, here, and here, and we'll just go back to drawing this out, sketching this out. Persona does have a great animation styles for Pokemon, in your opinion. Pokemon does have wonderful music. I do enjoy listening to a lot of Pokemon OST, and it's generally fantastic. Glad I'm drawing again. I wish I would draw more frequently. Like I hear this a lot, but you know, if I would just commit to drawing a little more frequently, I could probably pull off some pretty banger stuff. I think that's the same thing with like a lot of stuff. If I just committed to actually just doing stuff, I'd probably be able to do a lot of crazy stuff. But unfortunately, laziness is a cruel and terrible mistress who wants to end my fun times, and so I try to. That's what ends up stopping me from actually doing things that I want to do. So that's kind of like a curse in a way. How did I draw it on the Anya one? Oh, it's really small. I might need to change that again in the future. Because it should look something like this, I think. I think normally what I do is I do like a bunch of loops. Kind of something like that, I think, is the idea. Just try to get some basic stuff out here, just kind of get the generic shape in. And that should be fine. Yeah, I don't know how to do braids. The braids are gonna be like the hardest part. We'll worry about that later. Okay, so then the rest of the outfit should flow out from there. And then we're not trying to do like a full body, so just try to get the minimum functional amount of clothes drawn. I think yeah, see, the body doesn't look right, which is kind of the problem. I mean, if it's for a Star Sector portrait, ultimately this half doesn't matter, so maybe I don't have to worry about this. Maybe, what if I just don't? What if I just don't worry about this at all, and just pretend it's out of sight, out of mind? Oh, you know what I need? Hold on. I have an idea. Let me draw a square. Let me draw a perfect square. Yeah, let's okay, hold on. How do I make this fill null? Okay, wait, so black, and then this one. What the heck? I don't know how to change this. How do I make this like a fill blank? This is weird. Okay. I have an idea. Let's just draw some on a separate layer. Okay, wait, hold on. I know. Let's do this. We'll put this on a rear layer, and then we'll just draw kind of like a square. And the reason I'm drawing this square is so that I can kind of get an idea like what's going to be included in the portrait. You know what I mean? Like if I only cut it up to here, like that would include the most important bits, and then that way I can focus on just drawing in this specific area. and then I don't have to draw the rest of it. AKA, it's a way to be lazy. Yeah, okay, there we go. That's probably a little better. Okay, so then we'll do the rest of the sketch again. So we do need to draw the glasses, which I completely have not done yet. And because I'm a lazy goober, we're gonna use my favorite tool. We'll use circles. That's not the circle I want. How do I make this a black? This with full opacity. And okay, let's make this a little thicker. Maybe lower the AA a little bit here. There we go. Don't worry about being lazy. You're right, I shouldn't be worrying about being lazy. That should be a little bigger. Actually, if it's angled slightly, it should be more like this. Maybe her vision's that bad that she needs like really big glasses. Actually, let's copy the circle. Let's see. Something like that's not, I think is actually, something like that seems correct, right? I will need to move this slightly though, hold on. Let's merge these layers together. God. You ain't using ImageGen publishing and saying you made it, that's fine. Listen, I know, but I still want to at least try. There we go, because it's supposed to be like resting on the bridge of the nose. We're not good. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, she likes the aesthetic of this. That's why she wears these. Okay, I'm gonna quickly look up how to draw braids. How to draw braids anime. Let's see what Google says, because that's what everyone does now. Alright, what the heck am I doing here? Alright, I have no idea what I'm doing. Draw... Someone says draw pizzas that overlap one another and then erase the unnecessary lines. What? Is this what people actually do? Hold on. Is this actually a legitimate way to do this? Hold on. It's like, draw pizzas like this. That can't possibly work, right? There's no way this could work. This seems stupid. And then you would erase the unnecessary lines. I don't think that works the way the author thinks it's supposed to work. Because then you could still hook up the different connections, but it's still gonna look wrong. It's abstract to figure. That's also true. Let's erase this real fast. Oh, just try to get it as by far your weakest art skill. I know your main art skill is doing painting and doing those model builds, right? What is this? Battle Pink Mew Mew? Let's do Bad Apple X Pedal Dance. That should be interesting. Oh boy. This entire playlist is apparently just Deltarune nonsense and like interspersed with some Blue Archive. Alright. But yeah, it seems like this is gonna be like the hardest part where I just legitimately don't know how to draw braids. Okay, here's my plan. In order to not mess this up too badly, I'm actually going to draw the braids on a separate layer so I can kind of finagle with it as much as I need to get it to look right. Kind of looks like weird poop, which I'm not aiming to do, but that's kind of what it's starting to turn into. But if it looks like that, right? And then I guess we would realistically fill in the rest of it, which would be something like, shoot, I don't know what layer I'm drawing on. Oh god, I don't know what layer I'm on. That's starting to look like drills, and that's not what I want to do. Oh wait, there we go. It kind of looks like braids, right? I erased the lower half here, just to kind of clean that up. Can you believe you've gotten hate for disliking Ralse? Of course. Yeah. I mean, I'm not even surprised. Like, when it comes to Deltarune, the fans of Deltarune are dedicated, let's just say, in a very rabid manner, to the point where if you insult, you know, someone's quote-unquote comfort character, they will probably hunt you down to the ends of the earth and put a blood bounty on your head. You see, the solution is to just not interact with them. Your mistake was interacting with those, with Deltarune fans. It's fine to be a fan of Deltarune. Your solution, though, is to not interact with them if you don't want to get murdered. It's actually kind of a banger mix, actually. Well, it's actually kind of a banger of a mix. That's actually really good. I like this. I'm surprised we haven't... Oh, you know what? Let me save before anything breaks in half, because I have not saved yet, and I'm afraid this is just going to blow up at some point. I don't think I'm going to finish this tonight, but maybe we'll have to finish this next week, or if I ever do another art stream. I don't think I'm going to make art streams a regular thing, but I don't know. I know there's some people who really enjoy the art streams, but sometimes it's hard to kind of bring myself to do them, if that makes sense. Has this pedal dance? Metal mix? I don't like metal mixes that much. They be wiggling. We always are wiggling around here. Or we'll use the second verse of Bad Apple. There's a second verse. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Let's see. Let's find something else to listen to real quick. I wish there were more Toho songs that were as popular as Bad Apple, but I think the only other one that's really popular is Tiny Little Adamantium, and I cannot sing that for the life of me because it's so fast. It's a really good song, though. I do like it a lot, and I hate the fact that that song kind of blew up because of that stupid artist, quote-unquote, who all they did was steal the track, and then they just added a drum and bass beat, and then had a line from Fist of the North Star where it's like, "Omae wa mo shindeiru," and that was it. That was so stupid that even blew up. And apparently that guy now doesn't have any more money, which is great, because you know what? That guy can go fuck himself. No, it's not even vocal remixes. Just look it up. It's called someone took Tiny Little Adamantium, and all they did was add a drum and bass beat, and it turned into a song called Omae wa mo, and that was it. It was terrible. It was hot doo-doo garbage. Let's see. What's another good soundtrack to listen to? Octopath Traveler. That sounds fine. I do like my Octopath. Okay. How did I draw the other braid now? I'm like, I don't know what I did. I think the secret is to draw it almost like a heart. And then we'll figure out the rest of this as we'll learn how to draw as we go along. And if we erase the internal lines here to make this look less ugly, and then we draw like some of these lines here, that cleans it up a little bit. Actually, that doesn't look that bad. It's a little messy, and I'll probably have to go over this one more time with a finalizing, you know, ink layer, but for the most part, this is workable, I think. Symmetrical looks so good unrealistic, you suppose? I mean, yeah, symmetrical hair is kind of difficult. Even my hair doesn't, like, naturally symmetrical either. I mean, as a VTuber, your hair can be whatever you want, so just kind of keep that in mind. Remember, if you're a VTuber, you don't have to follow the laws of physics. Okay? You're free to just ignore physics and just do what your heart desires. Would I have the glasses over or under the bangs? I guess over. I think over is probably fine. So again, they don't have cat eyes is one thing I need to emphasize. They do have normal looking eyes. Just depends if I want to give them like a fancy eye design, which this one might not. Yeah. Yeah, I think the glasses will go over. Seen the breasticles too. Yeah. The thing, okay, the problem with, okay, I'm gonna segue a little bit. I think one of the biggest problems, especially in like early VTubing, is that there were so many people that were so dead set on getting people to click on them that they would just have the most insane designs possible. And not only that, their designs were basically like, so anyways, what's the first thing that guys look at when they see a female character? First thing they look at, chest, 99% of the time. And the first thing they're going to comment on is like how big those chesticles are. And that's kind of like the reason why a lot of certain more like the more erotic themed VTubers trying to go for having insane assets. Like it's, and that's why they always look like they move around like they're jello, right? Like it's not natural how they move. Well, like how, because a lot of the riggers will do it because that's what people want, but it's just unnatural. You know what I mean? Where it's like almost like low gravity. You know what you know what I'm saying, right? Which one is the blind one? It's the blind one was the other dark skinned one. This one, green hair. That's why her eyes are like clouded. You can call it cataracts, whatever you want, but that's kind of like the theme for that one. Yeah, mega volume. And listen, if people want to draw that, that's fine. Like, Say draws gigantic assets, and that's his entire shtick. He knows what his people wants, so you know, I'm not here to judge it. I think it's hilarious. I think Say's art is so funny. I don't like how I drew this neck at all. This neck seems way too long, and it's bothering me on like a spiritual level, but I'm pretty sure the neck's actually not that long. It's actually not that bad, but for me, I think something about it just seems off. Just trying to figure out like what about it just seems wrong. Oh, you know what? I think it's the angle of this. I think this actually should be more like... And then this one too. I think this one just kind of... if you do that and you kind of erase some of this like that, it probably looks a little better, right? No, I think you need that line there. Massive plot lines. Yeah, sure, we can call them plot lines. That's a way to describe them. Maybe the neck is actually not that thick. You want PME characters done by chat case points. I mean, to be fair, a lot of the characters people make for the PME are insane anyways, and that's kind of the point. The PME is supposed to be a very fun, silly adventure where, hey, look, we're throwing things at a wall and seeing what sticks. I don't know when we'll do another PME. I know some people, like, the thing is, we're going to talk about content for a little bit while we're doing this, because I know people are talking about content because of Streamer University and all that jazz. Part of the thing is my content is like all over the place. Sometimes I do art, sometimes I do video games, sometimes I never do just chatting streams, kind of the other main thing, which is kind of my own problem. I feel like it's hard to talk unless I have a big topic that I can really just keep going on about, like Kingdom Hearts for some reason. And that's why I don't do just chatting for kind of that logic. And the audience is very, like, sometimes we'll get like the Hoi 4 audience, sometimes we'll get these the Fire Emblem audience. It's just all over the place, and I'm surprised people enjoy watching what I do, considering how a lot of it is just kind of nonsensical a lot of the times. Like, yeah, today we're doing art, another day we might do some, you know, that's what I'm thinking of. You know, it just really depends, like, what we're doing on any given day, and I'm at least glad people at least find what I do to be at least entertaining enough that you stick around. Because I know a lot of you have other things that you could be doing with your time instead. I feel like I did not draw that correctly. Yeah, I did not draw that correctly. It should be angled a little bit more, so... what it should be would be more like this. Right, something like this is probably correct. Actually, so we'll angle this like this. And then, whoopsies, trying to get this like straight down. Nope, now it's not wide enough. We gotta widen this. There we go. I think that looks a little more correct. It's not perfect, but it kind of gets the point across. It's not wide enough. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing with this. I'll fix the hat later. That's probably okay. Can we talk about the DLC for a game with an active sequel? Yeah, so I did see that. I did see that Darkest Dungeon 1 is getting DLC for some reason in the year of our Lord 20... What is the year now? 2026? I mean, part of it is that I think... Well, for one, I think Darkest Dungeon 1 actually makes money. There's a lot more people playing Darkest Dungeon 1 than there are people playing Darkest Dungeon 2. So that's probably like a huge reason why they're like, yeah, well, let's just make more content for DD2. And I don't blame them. I mean... Why wouldn't you make more content for your most popular game? I think right now, if you take a look at the Steam charts, I think Darkest Dungeon 2 is probably like 5k players concurrent. Darkest Dungeon 1's at like 5k concurrent, but Darkest Dungeon 2 is at like maybe 1.5k concurrent. And it's just because the game is just so different, and not a lot of people really want to play DD2. You know, people just prefer the long-term investment that you can have in DD1, and not to mention the modding scene in Darkest Dungeon 1 is just way more developed, and it's a lot easier to make a custom class with 2D sprites and splines rather than making full 3D animations and 3D models. And that's why we don't see like custom classes for Darkest Dungeon 2 very much at all. And part of the reason, so yeah, Darkest Dungeon 2 is just like a long, it takes forever to get through a single run. That's why we don't stream Darkest Dungeon 2. Like, if you ever wonder why you don't see Darkest Dungeon 2 on this channel, like, anymore, is that it's mostly because I just don't want to stream it. It takes forever to get through a single run, and it's so annoying, like, how long it takes. And that's kind of the big problem with the game as a whole. Like, I like it, playing it on my own time, but I could not bring myself to stream it anymore. So if you ever wonder why you don't ever see it, that's literally why. I mean, maybe... Okay, hold on, I think... Okay, that looks better, I think. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I think the portrait actually doesn't look that bad. Is it a glow up? I think we just made her a little more expressive, which is kind of nice. Because in this one, in the original one, she's kind of got like a blank expression, but now in the newer one, she's got a lot more of a, you know, actual expression personality. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just dump all of these into a new folder. Okay, it's not dragging into the folder. Okay, I cannot drag these into the folder. Oh, there we go. New layer. We're gonna blue this out. And then we're gonna do the final lining now, and I'm gonna pray that I know how to do line art, because I don't know how to do line art. Line arting is difficult. I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people do this at all. It's crazy, I tell you what. Also, my back is like hurting. This music is like gonna put me to sleep. I need something else. What are we gonna listen to today? Fire Emblem, we're gonna listen to tomorrow. God, you know what's super annoying too, that I hate? There is so much, there is so much AI music out there, and it's so annoying trying to find like you'll click up music playlist and it just ends up being like a AI generated lo-fi playlist of like modifications of songs you already like and enjoy. And it's really annoying. And I hate that I actually did find one AI generated song that the person had put together, and I was like, man, this actually sounds good. And I hated it so much that I actually enjoyed how it sounded. It was essentially a like 60s Showa, not 60s, not Showa era, but it was like a 60s city pop rendition of Ice Cream from Love Live. You know, the one that goes you know, the one that was like super popular that goes like Ruby-chan, nani ga suki, chocominto. But it was like a bunch of dudes singing it, and I was like, oh my god, why is this so good? I hate that it's so good. And that song got stuck in my head for a while. You know, it's like Shiete moto anata no koto. Tell me more, tell me more. Yeah, that one. Ice cream, sakabimashou. Okay. I guess we'll listen to this. What is this? A rearranged OST album playlist music from a certain video game with a bunch of arrangements that I might not be allowed to use. Oh wait, here we go. Girls und Panzer. God. I can't believe I'm going to be in Japan when the Girls on the Panzer film is airing in theaters. I don't know if I'm going to watch it in theaters, but let's just say the temptation is quite strong for me to go see it in theaters. Okay, so if I'm using black, I guess we'll use a slightly thicker pen. I usually like using size 10. This one's a lot sketchier, so maybe we just kind of keep this relatively sketchy too. Maybe that'll be my signature. The thing is, like, I could probably understand most of what's going on, but I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to be able to understand everything that's going on. Some talk of Alexander and some of Hercules. All the great heroes, there's none that can compare with the tower row to the British Grenadiers. You know what I should do? You know what I really should do one of these days? I should do a Girls on the Panzer March album, where it's just me singing along to the Girls on Panzer OST and just doing every single march that I could possibly sing. I'm sure that'll go very poorly. Especially when you have songs like this, like Funi Funicula, that I do not know the song. All I know is that it's just very loud and very Italian, and that's like the extent of my knowledge for this track. Pizza, pasta. Yeah, pizza, pasta, put it on a box. Ravioli, ravioli. I don't know the rest of it. I'm pretty sure I could sing most of it. The problem is I don't know how to sing. There's one specific song from Girls on Panzer that I do not know how to sing, and it's the one that it's everyone's favorite. It's the Finnish one. You know what I'm talking about? It's the one that goes it's the Sakjärven polka, that's the one. On kaulinen mustat kaljanmaa, something, 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 something. I do not know how to sing that one. Let's see here. Oh, here we go, Katusha. You hear Blood on the Rises one come to mind and you know it's not original? It's okay. Don't worry. Nothing is original. Das Vitali jabloni I gruci popoli tumani nad rekoj Vyhadzi hila nabaru Katusha na viso Jebjerek na koto. One of the things I don't want to sing like a lot of Russian anything is because I'm afraid we're gonna get like the really weird Russians coming into the channel. And there's nothing wrong with being Russian, but there's a lot of, sometimes you get the weird ones coming in and I'm like, I'm not here to promote specific, you know, countries and what's going on in the world events. Why is it so catchy? Well, because this is like Soviet era. Just because it's like, you know, from that region doesn't mean it has anything to do with modern, you know, what's going on over there. It's the studio tuileti taratsayo. Kota kolon haju bila, pratago ja isa beregla. Pratago ta kolon haju bila, pratago ja isa beregla. Oh my god, I think her ears are like super super in many directions that don't make a lot of sense, but whatever. We'll just say it's just like maybe her ears are angled in a weird way. I don't know the U.S. military march. Wish I had the lyrics to this. You know what's really funny though? You know the French song that they chose for Girls on Panzer? They chose the Onion song, and I think it's so funny. I love that stupid Onion song. It's so good. Let's skip the British. And some of and Lysander and great names as these. For the world's brave heroes, there's none that can compare. The row to the British Grenadiers. These heroes ne'er saw a cannonball, nor the force of power dare to slay their foes withal. But our brave boys do know it and banish all their fears. Sing row for the British Grenadiers. I can't believe I know this. I hate that I know this song. It's so addictive. Yeah, we're actually doing the Star Sector portrait update. And Palisades, our leaders march with fuses, and we with hand grenades. We throw them from the glassy about the enemy's heels, with the row for the British Grenadiers. Glassy about the enemy's heels, with a row for the British Grenadiers. And when those sieges over, we to the pound repair. The townsmen cry, hurrah, boys, here comes the Grenadier. Here come the Grenadiers, my boys, who know no doubts or fears. They'd sing row for the British Grenadiers. Fears and sing row for the British Grenadiers. I kind of messed that up. What's the next one on this? Oh, it's Panzerlied. Okay, I don't know how to sing this one because it's German. Unfortunately, I don't know how to sing German, so it's coming in a little clean. Yeah, we're doing the lining phase, and then we'll see if I can quickly color this in the span of like an hour and a half. I think part of the problem with like I don't want to say it, but like sometimes the reason why I don't want to necessarily do like a Girls on Panzer cover album partly is because you start singing some of these songs and people might be like, oh, so you support what these people did. And I'm like, no, that's literally not at all what I'm intending, but you're implying that. And so I'm like, you know, you just gotta be careful from that. But in case it's extremely catchy, it is very catchy, I agree. Panzerlied is fairly... I know this song was featured prominently in a World War II movie. I think it was on Battle of the Bulge, where they know they're all going to die, but they kind of have no choice but to fight. And so they were forced to, you know, sing this as like a last stand to kind of get them riled up. I'm trying to think where this part of the song is. Deutschland sucht der Wind ist. Oh, that's right. Ja, und dahin. Da, 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 da. Der Panzer im Sturmwind dahin. Da, 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 da. I don't know, this is okay. Alright, you're like, okay. I'm not gonna sing anymore. This will someone I might get in trouble by YouTube or something. This video is probably gonna get copyright struck. I just realized it's not an anime song, so this is very much, or it's not a video game song, so this will definitely get copyright attacked, but whatever. It's not like I'm even monetized on YouTube anyways. If I was monetized on YouTube, I'd probably care a little more. Alright, let's at least get this out. I want to at least slam this out if I can. Polska Polye is not one I know how to sing either. It's just not one of those I ever really learned. It really is such a nice, calming tune. Alright, there we go. That's probably fine. We'll get the other one done too. The problem is my setup is also like really awkward for drawing. I wish I had a better setup, but unfortunately I'm working with what I got, and it's just not a very clean way to do things. What if I turn this into an impromptu karaoke stream? I could do that too. Unfortunately, the only songs I know how to sing are like very specific anime songs. It's kind of the reason why we're not singing like anything else right now, even though I could probably do it if I really wanted to. Okay, I think that's correct, and then the only problem is I'm not 100% sure if I'm doing the hat correctly, but I think it's fine. I think what I actually have to do is make this a little more rounded. I think if I do it like this, I think it matches a little better to the original. Yeah, there we go. That looks a little more correct, I think. It's a little awkward, but we'll just chalk it up to artistic inefficiencies. We'll just pretend like it's good enough. Okay, we're gonna line the face on a separate layer, because that way it's a little easier for me to make sure I'm doing this right. Okay. Okay. God, no, it's a stupid pasta song. I don't want to listen to a stupid pasta song. There we go. That's really loud. 氷を踏んでどれが川やら道知れず馬を倒れる捨てても置けずここははずみんな敵の国ままよ大胆一服やれば頼み少ないタバコが日本干物に半煮飯に生地命のあるそのうちはこらえきれないさの焚き火眠いはずだよ中がいぶる渋い Oh my god, I'm off at time, which is kind of the problem. Oh well. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, that's probably okay for the face. Drawing the eyes again is a little bit of a mess, but we're working what we got. Maybe not that far. I will say, I have a lot of fun redrawing these portraits, although we probably need to draw like original portraits at some point instead of just redrawing the older ones. Maybe at some point. The other thing I thought about is I could make the eyes a little more... If I wanted to make it look a little crueler, we could do something like this. You know what I mean? Where the eye flat cuts out like here. But I feel like that might be a little too mean. So we're not going to do that. I think we'll just kind of keep it like a rounded flatness rather than like a direct flatness. Or if it will keep it flat, but not like super like higher up flat, if that makes sense. And then we'll do the nose. We kind of just keep it as like a dot anyways. And then we'll draw the mouth, which is kind of just like a very unhappy scowling with a big ol' fang. Because at this point, why not? Is that how this works? Who cares? It's good enough, I would say. Okay. And then we're just gonna clean up a little bit of the lashes a little bit, because it is supposed to still be feminine. Is it sub-zero temperatures out there for you? Oh, is it winter for you? Oh my gosh, wait, that's right. You're in the southern hemisphere, right? So it is winter for you. I keep forgetting that, actually. I really should consider line thickness hierarchy. It's something I really, I know it's like the outer layer, you know, outer ones just be a little thicker, right? Like this one should be a much thicker line. Is that like what you're referring to? Unfortunately, I am not skilled enough to really do that quite well. I can try to clean it up a little bit, maybe make some lines thicker. Like that, right? You're saying like the outer lines, for example, should be much thicker than the inner ones. Oh, I think this is the Cabrinkla theme, the Tetris theme. Which I guess does appear in Girls and Panzer. Isn't there pressure pen? Maybe. I mean, this is a pressure pen. This does have pressure. Okay, we'll clean up the thick. How about this? We'll clean up the line thickness a little bit. I think it is kind of interesting that this character does not actually have a lot of fraying hair, because I guess we'll say that she kind of keeps her hair relatively neat. She's a prim and proper, you know, lady. So we're gonna use that as an excuse as to why you don't see a lot of, like, you know, the flaying hair bits. You know what I mean? Like when you see in like an anime character, and then their hair, like normally this would be like, oh, you know, you'd have something like here, and it would be like, it actually like is like this. We could do that for this, but I think it's better if she doesn't. I think it's more fitting. Although it would add some dimensionality to this, but I think that's probably fine, right? Okay. Okay, that's probably good enough. Let's hide the sketch. Oh, I forgot to draw the glasses. That's kind of important, isn't it? What I should have done was I should have just made a copy. Wait, can't I just make a copy of the glasses layer? Yeah, what am I doing? I'm making this way more harder on myself than it needs to be. Lamau. Okay, so... Okay, so if I hide the sketch layer, that actually looks fine. There's a little bit of cleanup that needs to be done, but other than that, this is, for the most part, ready to just start coloring. I still don't like how I did the neck. I think the neck probably needs to be a little fixed up. Oh shoot, wrong tool. Lower the jaw and around the collar. I don't know if I can make the neck thicker. I kind of like thinner necks, which is why I draw the necks a little thinner. Maybe over here it does make a little sense. I don't know. I was wondering if the neck's actually a little too long. That was kind of my concern, but I think it's probably okay. Oh my god, I need a smaller eraser. Kind of hard to erase when you're using size 17. Let's clean this up a little bit. Oh my god, I can't sing it. Alright, I think that's probably fine, because again, a lot of this is going to get shrunk down anyways when it goes into star sector, so it's probably not a big deal. I will say, I don't like how this hair turned out, but it's probably okay. I feel like I'm missing something. Did I miss something? Oh, this line here should actually... Oh, shoot, Jesus Christ. This line should probably extend out a little bit. Maybe like up to here. Let's see if that looks correct. No, it doesn't. I think it actually should... Actually, no, that's fine. Yeah, a little bit in, and then the rest is kind of like fluffed, and then that's probably okay, right? Okay, I guess we're just listening to the full proper album. I actually do have this soundtrack on CD. I bought this like as a CD a while ago, and I was so happy. I was like, yes, finally. Actually, I'm wondering if I should have made the head wider, actually. Let's see if I lower it down a little bit. Oh my god, that looks so funny. Hold on, let's do this with all the layers selected so I can kind of get a proper idea. If I were to move this down, what would it look like? I mean, it doesn't look the worst if I lower it, I think. But I'd rather just commit. Oh, let's just commit to this rather than trying to finagle it. I think if I spend too long trying to adjust it, I'm just gonna get stuck forever. All right, let's color this in. How do I color things? That's the real question. Dun, 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 dun. I love this is Risten's theme song because Risten's from the Nordic countries. 8 out of 10. Well, I guess that's good numbers, I guess. Dun 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 dun. Actually, before I finish up, let me at least thicken up some of the. Let me thicken up some of these lines, as Ronnie was suggesting earlier. Thankfully, isn't too difficult to do. Dun 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 dun. I still can't believe they stole a tank, as they stole stuff in Girls and Panzer. The Finnish team is just like, yeah, anyway, so we stole things from the Russian team because they don't deserve it. And the layers are messed up, that's fine. It's okay. Good enough. Okay, we'll work with this. There we go. That's probably workable, and then I'm just gonna... Okay, I'll name this sketch. And then we'll name this line. And then we'll do another folder, and we'll call this put underneath line. And we'll call this color. Alright, how do I do this normally? Take away the box of crayons for the Marines, so they don't need them. I mean, did you see that they're making Crayola sodas? I wish I was joking. They are actually making Crayola sodas nowadays. Feet from Jones, I believe, is the soda company. Well, if I'm gonna sign this, I'll do it later. Oh, she'll need a name too. Alright, let's color this in. Okay, so how do I do this? So, new layer. I'll name my layers. Oh yeah, you didn't see this? Hold on, let me find it. I thought it was really funny when I saw this. I was like, you got it. This can't be real. I think it was it posted in general? It might have been posted in... Oh, here we go. Garm's the one that even posted it. Hold on. Yeah, so the Jones Soda Company is straight up making 6-pack limited Crayola themed sodas. Yeah, and I was like, it's berry lemonade. I'm like, you know what, actually I would drink that. I don't drink sugar sodas much anymore, but it sounds really tasty, honestly. If I am nere. Oh yeah, we got this one. No, it's not a Gamer Subs thing. I would never drink Gamer Subs unless Gamer Subs was sponsoring me. No, we don't do Gamer Subs here. I could have done a full body, but I just was not in the mood to do a full body. I think redoing the portraits is a lot of fun though. Alright, let's see if I can do this. How do I do this? Do I just bucket fill this? I think that's fine. Feels like it's a little darker than I was expecting it to be. Maybe we give her a slightly lighter tone? Or do we just go with the pink? The darker, more fleshy pink. Let's go somewhere in the middle, that's probably fine. Okay, then we'll do another layer. Call this one hair. Ibuku. Oh boy. Did I really choose this color? This has got to be the base color, right? Oh, did I really just decide a teal was going to be the color that I was going to go with this? Oh boy, what was I thinking? Alright, well. Oh, that's not. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know they could do that. Okay, I don't know how artists normally do this. So I am literally just kind of figured this out on my own. I mean, I guess it kind of works. We'll just have to do some cleaning up. I assume this is how artists do it, but I don't know, man. I'm not good at this. Okay, let's clean up some of this. We'll just manually clean it up with an eraser. Should be fine. I'm sure it's okay. It adds a little bit of a pizzazz when it's not perfect, right? When it's all a little ugly and messy. There we go. Here's how I feel. I feel like it's a little more expressive, and that's something I always struggle with art, is I kind of make characters look a little more, they have like personality. Sometimes it's kind of difficult to convey, and I feel like a lot of times I'm stuck, I draw a lot of the same face, and it's not ideal. So it's good to at least have practice trying to do something different, because you don't learn anything if you just keep doing the same thing over and over again, right? Repetition leads you to mastery, but you have to try variety to get experience in other categories. So even though I know my art's terrible, at the very least I can be proud of the fact that, hey, at least I'm trying something instead of just relegating myself to mediocrity with, you know, art and complaining about, oh, I'm terrible at art. I'm like, yeah, I'm terrible at art, but at least I'm trying to do something instead of just complaining about it, right? And I think that's a good way to approach, you know, art sometimes, where it's like, yeah, you can suck, and I'll always complain about me being bad, but at least I can say that, hey, at least I'm trying. Oops, wrong color. Wrong tone. There we go. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, I don't know which. I think I use this yellow. I feel like it's just easier to. The easiest way to get the color I need for this unironically is we're gonna go. Where's my screenshots? I have a full body of me in the Nekograd uniform, and then we're just gonna use that real quick over here, and we're gonna use this as a color palette. There we go. There we go. So I can just grab this, and then we can just make a new layer. We'll call this cloth. Cloth main. And then that way we can just bucket fill it, because I am lazy. So ominous. And Johnny comes marching. Oh, that's right. This is the theme for Saunders University. That's right. I remember this. Let's see. Let's listen to something else. Why don't we listen to Pokemon battle themes, Songs of the Realm, Civilization 6, boss themes, Kasane Teto singing Family Guy Shipoopi. That's interesting. I actually have been kind of on a binge of listening to Teto covers of just like various Family Guy songs. These are weirdly addictive to listen to. It's very addictive to just kind of listen to it, where they were just like, anyways, like Shipoopi, etc., etc., etc. I don't remember the rest of it. Let's do. Teto is a very interesting voice. Like, I really like Bird Brain. Bird Brain is probably like one of my favorite Teto songs. I know, I hear it as like kind of divisive, but for me, I think it's a really good song, and I really enjoy singing it in the car where no one can hear me be bad. I actually can't hit high notes, so you know that's kind of the problem. But it's still fun. Machine Love. Machine Love is fine, but I really like Bird Brain a lot. Bird Brain is kind of like my earwig right now. This section is yellow. This section is yellow. I'm gonna put the cloth below the hair. That's probably fine. Okay, what's left that needs to be colored? Oh, technically, we do need white because cloth white. Turn this back on because this. Oh no, not this one. Alright, we'll just fill this in manually. It's just easier to fill it in with a small brush. Sometimes the easy solution is just take a small brush and just paint it in. I always see some artists and they spend like days coloring, and I'm like, man, I don't have that kind of patience, but props to them for putting up with it. So we need to clean up some of this hair coloring here, which is kind of a mess everywhere. Gotta pull out the funny brush, fix it up, clean up the details a little bit, just so it's nice and consistent. Erase the unnecessary parts like here, then fill it back in, because the, that's fine. Because this will be the cutoff anyways, right? Yep. Okay. Perfect. This is Super Mario, yeah. Have I seen Flavorfully's new song, Street Cat? I have not. I actually did not listen to the Flavor Folly stuff yet. Wasn't one of them like a VTuber at some point, and then he like left to pursue his VTuber things, and then just that was it? Trap Queen because it's the whitest slime, you know? So like, there's nothing wrong with liking old music. Listen, sometimes I'll listen to an ABBA song and it'll just be stuck in my head for like the next day. Okay? It's okay to have cursed music tastes. No one's gonna judge you except yourself. Just accept it. We all have terrible music tastes every now and again. Actually, one of my current earwigs is that one song from Les Mis. Do You Hear the People Sing? Has been kind of stuck in my head for a while, and I cannot get it out of my head right now. It's the one, you know, like, do you hear the people sing, singing the songs of angry men? This is the music of a people who will not be slaves again. When the beating of the drum, or when the beating of your heart echoes the beating of the drum. Something. That it's just so good, and it's just stuck in my head. And I've been listening to like multiple variations and multiple covers of it, and it's so nice. I did remember. I remember one time. I remember when I was in middle school. We read Les Mis for school, and when I was younger, I didn't care about it, right? But then you become an adult, and I'm just like, you know what? Les Mis is actually good content, and I wish I have an appreciation for it nowadays that I didn't have when I was younger. I think Les Mis is actually like a really good piece of literature and a play and everything. I think a lot of people don't really pay attention to it, which is kind of unfortunate because it is really good. I forgot to fill in the white of the ears, so we're gonna fill that in real quick. Yeah, that went pretty well. Okay, so then I just erase this little chunk here. Okay, oh, and then we gotta do the, okay, so I don't know why I gave her a red gem, but she has a red gem, so we'll just plug that in real quick. Strong layer. Maybe a more crimson color would probably be better. Okay. And then this small section here is gonna be green. And I'm doing this on the wrong layer. Of course I am. Of course I'm doing this on the wrong layer. Why wouldn't I be doing this on the wrong layer? I'm always doing it on the wrong layer. Haha. How could this happen to me again? Okay, do this on this layer. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh, my controller shut off. Ugh. Circus Via joined Niji. That's unfortunate. Did he join before or after the Doki Bird situation? Because that's ultimately the real question that we have to ask ourselves. Still can't believe that Doki Bird situation even happened in the first place, but, you know, happens. Okay, we'll do... Oh my god, I keep putting on the wrong layer. Okay, another one. We'll just use this green tone here for the ribbon. This is supposed to be the ribbon section here, but it's kind of hard to see, so we'll just put this under this layer, and then we'll just kind of just pencil it in. Like that. Okay, cool. Okay, what's next for this? The hair ribbon, I went for... So that's right, so we did the whole... It's not... What's the saying? It's not curtains match the drapes, it's something else. Anyways, her accessories match her eyes. That's the theme. So we'll just do this. There we go, that's a lot better. Okay, so we'll do another layer. We'll call this band. Do another layer. We'll call this one eyes. Okay, so I think the eyes need to be in like its own specific folder. I think usually I folder it separately, because otherwise I get lost. Okay, then we do another one, because there has to be another layer below it, and we call this the whites. Okay. I didn't realize Les Mis had a fighting game. That's actually vaguely cursed, I would say. Have you played it? I've never heard of a Les Mis fighting game, but you know what? I would be somewhat interested in playing it now that I know that it exists. Okay, that should be fine. So then we should go to this one, and then this section here should be filled in. And then maybe... That's a little too much. I think like about there's correct. And over here a little bit as well. Okay, it doesn't look perfect, but it looks fine. Oh, okay, it's for their music program. Got it. Well, hopefully he finds success, because I know the main problem with a lot of these VTuber companies is when everyone starts hating on a company, everyone in that talent group kind of starts to suffer, right? And I know Niji EN does not have a good reputation. They're fine in Japan, but I'd say they're struggling a little bit on getting that goodwill from the English audience back. God, I really should play CK3 again. Such good music. It really makes you feel like becoming a Chinese imperial scholar and taking over the realm in service of your country. I tried doing a I thought about trying to do a eunuch run in CK3, but apparently it's not really easy to do, because as a eunuch you're not allowed to inherit titles at all. So I was like, oh, okay, so this is just not at all, this is not feasible, which was a little disappointing to find out. I don't think I like how this tooth looks, but whatever. We'll just say she's got like a weird fang. No, I should probably get rid of it. I don't like it. I think what actually I should do, hold on. I think that snaggletooth should be a little more like this maybe. Yeah, I think it's better if it's like that. So we're cleaning it up a little bit, maybe running it over with a slight brush, and then we can take the tooth layer, go back to the white, pencil that back in. Something a little more subtle, I think, makes a little bit more sense. Yeah, okay. Okay, am I using mouse? No, I have a tablet. Anyway, I still have an EGN now. Maybe we can see that NA. I mean, I'm not surprised. Like, the main problem is that HoloLive has basically exited from the male VTuber space. So Niji Sanji is kind of like the only one that's like really leaning into it. Face Connect is like the only other big VTuber corporation. And they have just basically completely decided to ignore the female audience in favor of just going straight for female talents. Why am I? It's because if I'm looking down at my tablet, the face tracker is not tracking me. That's literally the main reason. Okay, this portrait's mostly done. What else do I need to do? I guess we should probably do the shading now. I will say my shading methodology is not ideal. It's super janky. It's kind of my own preferred way of doing things, but you know, I don't like doing it like super poorly, but you know, what are you gonna do? I don't know, it's not showing anything. What the heck? Oh, it's on the wrong layer. Let's see. Maybe I should try a new shading method. How to shade. I think I normally use watercolors for this one. Let's see what people come up with for shading techniques. Shading with color correction. Oh boy. All right, let's see this article on Clip Studio Paint. No color palette was prepared at all. All colors were automatically determined by Clip Studio Paint's tone curve color correction layer. What? Okay, first have an illustration ready for shading. There's layer midtones on another. Okay, line art on one layer, base color midtones on another layer. That's fast place only press the base color selection auto filter. Okay, wait. So how did they do this? Wait, hold on. I want to see how they do this. So let's delete this. Create a new layer. Correction layer. Tone curve. And then the window should pop up. Finagle with the window. Click and drag chart with control just in the curve. That's okay. Oh, and then you have to create a mask. Wait, hold on. Wait a second. Is this? Oh, hold up. This might be some. This is some black magic here. Hold up. So they okay. Hold on. So they make a new layer, correction layer, tone curve, and then they adjust the colors. What? Trying to figure out your own color knowledge. I don't have color knowledge. All right, screw it. We'll figure this out ourselves. I'm just kind of curious to see how this function works. I've never seen this before, so we'll see how this operates. That looks completely wrong. Wow. And then you create a stencil mask thingy for this thing, which is right click, delete mask, and then right click, correction layer, layer mask. Wait, mask outside selection. What? And then you just start shading it in? How does this work? I think I'm doing this wrong. Layer mask. Mask outside selection. And then select the mask. And then use your usual brush techniques. I'm literally just reading some guide I found. Okay, and then oh, that is... Oh, wait. Oh, wait a second. Okay, wait, hold on. Oh, wait, that's some crazy black magic. I've never seen this. Okay, wait, hold on. Hold on, I need to try something real quick. I've never really used this stuff before. No, this is all like foreign to me, so I'm like trying to figure out how I want to use this. I'm messing around with the tone curve because I don't really know what's a good tone curve for this, so I'm kind of just like, experimenting. Because I think, for example, the pinks are a little too pink on the skin, so I need to find a way to adjust that. Maybe make it not so intense. That's so weird. I've never had to do this before. Oh, like that? Oh, maybe that's a better tone curve. Okay. Yeah, I really don't know how to do. I don't know how to do the clipping mask technique. I'm not gonna lie. That's not something I've ever like really learned. Do you want to know what my current technique is? What I've been doing for like the longest time. This is okay. This is super janky, but this is what I've been doing. So my normal strategy is I pick a layer, right? So like I pick the skin layer. I'll make a clipping. I'll make a not layer mask. I'll make a a layer that clips to below, and then I'll just switch to multiply, and then that's how I do the darkening, like this. That's it. That's my strategy. And then I'll use a brighten or color dodge for highlights. I'm just gonna keep doing this method for the time being because at least I want to get this done. Also, my leg's like itching from sunburn, so we'll just keep it very simple. I might need to watch some tutorials and vidjers on how to do this type of wacky tacky timey wimey silly shenanigan nonsense. I got a bunch of DMs on Discord. What the heck is happening? Oh, I see. Yeah, the Matsuri birthday event is happening soon. Otherwise the same, not gonna lie. It might be, yeah. I mean, this is fine for now. Not like my shading skills are any good anyways, so just kind of keep it simple like that, perhaps. Because I think the main benefit of doing it the other way was if I were to go here, right, if I want to do like the face to be like a little ominous, right, I could do like the whole thing like this. And it would still fit perfectly fine, but now I gotta finagle with the hair where the tones are all over the place, and that's kind of the big issue. You know what I mean? That's kind of like, okay, maybe I don't want to do that. See how like the eyebrows are kind of messy? I could use manual color, but I'm not very good with color theory at all, so I just kind of do this method where I just clip it and just call it a day and pray it's enough. Oh shoot. Yeah, but I basically just go to the clipping layer, and then just pick the original color. You can close the tones of skin layer. Oh, gotcha. Isn't that complex? It might not be complex to you, but it's a little complex to me. Okay, so we'll do that. Shade down here. Again, I need to get this. I kind of want to get this done as fast as possible, so I am trying to just speed run this a little bit. That's fine. I think this would technically get shaded over here. And that's probably okay. This area would be shaded for sure. That gets a little bit of light, and then that's all the skin. Okay, next is we do a little bit of highlighting here. I think I do color dodge. Yeah, except I'm going to use a slightly lower capacity for this one. Yeah. I'll probably just keep doing it this way for the time being until I get a little bit more experience, and then maybe I'll do some other stuff. I'm more surprised that I was actually able to get something done in the span of, like, whatever the stream time is. You know what I mean? It should be a little darker on this side. And then the hat obviously needs to be shaded correctly. That'd be the inner rim there, and then down here is probably where the light kind of cuts off. And then probably take a very gentle brush. I need to stop using the hard brush and probably use a softer brush to get like softer color adjustments. Like that. It's called progress. I'm not gonna lie, I misread that and I thought you said that's proggers, and I was really confused what the heck proggers meant. Like, is this like a Final Fantasy 14 thing? Proggers? Real proggers? Proggers. What a good term. It's so cursed. I hate it. I love it. Okay. And then over here should probably get a little bit as well. Okay, and then the problem with cloth whites, you can't really make it any brighter, so I think what I normally do is I just do like a multiply, but then I just take a gray tone and just kind of, you know, the usual. A little too strong, so I have to like decrease that a little bit like that. Maybe that's fine. Like that. Yeah. That should be white, and this one should be darker along there. That's probably okay. Shading is still not my strong suit as an FYI, so don't expect quality understanding of how lighting or lighting theory or color theory, whatever you want to call it, works. Expect something that works kinda, but not super well. No, it's funnier if we think that Ranu said proggers, because that's something that Ranu would never say, because it's such a cursed terminology. What the heck is this layer? Oh, it's fine. Oh, the band. That's right. Okay, we gotta do this one now. So this one should actually have. This one needs a clipping layer at least once, where I'm gonna draw the pattern. I think all I did for the pattern was I just drew straight white lines. Yeah, I think I just drew straight. Oh, shit. Yeah, we're just gonna do kind of maybe follow the same pattern, but straight white lines. Like that. To know where the light comes from. That's also true. I think as you get older, you develop a stronger form of dyslexia. I mean, it's probably because maybe it's not just dyslexia, but maybe you're just so used to reading garbage on the internet that your brain automatically autofills in words. Like, instead of progress, you read it as proggers or things like that. That's probably what's happening. Probably correct like that, and then we just get the another layer, do a color dodge, and then just kind of where the light would kind of come from, which would be like over here. Yeah, something like that, and then we'll just kind of gently put that in, and we'll do a little bit of light erasing, kind of make it smooth. I guess that's probably fine. Good enough, probably. Oh, wrong tool again. Sometimes I end up on the wrong tool. Ugh. Okay. But yeah, proggers. That's our new term for doing art. Yeah, we're doing some real proggers work. And I forgot to make this a clipping layer. What is this? Okay, I know what this is. This is the gem. So I think for this one I'm a little lazy, so just take the color here. Actually, no, just as usual. Multiply. I don't know. Take a darker color. The gem, so it probably shines in the middle. Something like this. Multiply. Color dodge. Just maybe in the center like that, and then we'll just kind of smooth it out a little bit. Good enough. Okay. Hair. Oh boy, because of how many layers this hair has, this is gonna be a nightmare to do. Okay, so color dodge, multiply. Okay, so how do braids get shaded? Oh, anime braids, my arch nemesis. All right, this is probably fine. I'll use this as an example that I'm just pulling up off the internet, and hopefully I can use that to kind of get the general vibe. Let's maybe use a smaller brush. Like that, perhaps? Maybe make this a slightly larger brush. Just trying to follow the logic of where the shading would naturally flow from. Right, that's ultimately what we have to do. Follow the logic. This is some very odd music. This is, if you want to know, this is the Crusader Kings 3 All Under Heaven OST. Ooh, Songs of the Homeland from Victoria 3, a game I uninstalled. I like Victoria 3, but I had to uninstall it because it was eating up so much space on my hard drive, and I wasn't really playing it that much, so I was like, it's okay, I can get rid of it. It's a bit of a shame, but the new DLC was just really bad, and I had not heard anyone say anything good about it. So, kind of factored into my whole, maybe it's time to just, you know, move on from it and just uninstall the game and play other, better video games. Maybe one day we'll revisit Victoria 3. I don't think we'll ever play Victoria 3 on stream ever again, though. I don't know if there's anyone who even looks forward to Victoria 3 on stream, but it's very, very unlikely. Well, actually, no, there's that one person who shows up every now and again, Livingston, who's like, Victoria 3? And I'm just like, I don't know, maybe? And then we never do. It's not a game I'm like, I don't think it's a very good streaming title, if that makes sense, which is a bit of a shame because I enjoy playing the game, but it's very much more of a, I want to play this on my own time and not while I have people scrutinizing my every move, asking me to do specific things for their amusement, right? You know what I mean? And that's kind of why I don't really stream Vic 3. The music is pretty good though. Like RuneScape? You gotta go what you're doing. Okay, well thank you, I appreciate the kind words, word of stories. Hopefully you have a good sleep. Rest well, comrade. Okay, it's fine. It's fine if we're being super intense here. It's okay. Because ultimately we can adjust this as we need to. I'm also using a harder brush than I normally do. I think I normally use like the soft opaque or like watercolors, but for this one I accidentally used the opaque one, so I'm kind of just committed to using opaque for this one. But I will use the soft brush to kind of ease in some of the color transitions. I think will help a little bit. And also like down here, for example, we really need some shading. Maybe just like make it a little less intense, and maybe down here as well. Just to give a little bit of depth to it, right? Is that what the kids say, depth? They want some depth in their art. Like that. I think that one get highlights. Okay, and then over here, I think maybe a very slight, like that. And then we'll do the highlight layer, my favorite. Ooh. This is way more dramatic than I thought. Let's listen to... God, what is it? Crusader Kings 3, Rose the Power, The Great Wave, EU... You know what? I have not heard the EU5 OST. I want to listen to the Europe of Universalis 5, the game I'm told I should not play because it's really bad. There's like one good song in this entire OST that I really like. I've heard part of it, but I think there's like the only one. It's like the Ave Maria one. That one goes really hard. I think it's called No Fear, No Mercy. Pain and Salvation, that's the one. I don't know why they went so hard with the soundtrack. But it's so good, it's so intense. Okay, there we go. That's probably fine if we do like that, and then we'll do a little bit of lightning here, and then try to do some like around this edge here. Yeah, but unfortunately, again, I don't really know shading too well, so if you're ever wondering why my shading looks terrible, it's because I lack the knowledge on how to do this properly, so I am just going straight vibes. I'm trying to add at least some to give it like a nice look. Initially I wanted to do like a lot of cell shading in terms of like coloring, but I just kind of opted to do whatever it is I'm currently doing here, and it seems to be working fine. I think it does add at least a bit of a variety. I really like using like almost like a, I don't know, Technicolor feel to this. You know what I mean? Maybe my signature can be my terrible understanding of color theory. That'll be my gimmick. I don't know colors, so I can at least make up color theory and just be like, oh, it's just an artistic choice. Lamau, accept it. No one will question my terrible decisions. There we go. Just kind of ease that in with a bit of a... You know what? Let's use liquefy. Or blend. Actually, wait, I don't actually use liquefy. Ooh, that looks really funny. Let's not do that, actually. I think I normally use blend tools to kind of smooth out the roughness. Ooh, actually, no, I kind of like the sharper tones. It's a little too strong. Let's actually lower it a little bit and reduce the color stretch. There we go. Okay, so what's left? I have 20 minutes-ish, 30 minutes to finish this. You breathed hard and gave yourself hiccups? How did you manage to pull that off? I am amazed. Okay. This is so dramatic. Okay. What's left? The mouth shading doesn't really need anything. The tooth is fine. It's the eyes. Okay, so what I normally do for the eyes is we're gonna use multiply, but we'll just kind of pick a gray tone, clip this over that, and then just kind of pick a brush. Match the shading for the face. And then we'll go to the actual eye. And then we have to kind of find a way to color this. So I don't actually know how I wanted to do this. There's a lot of ways to do anime eyes. I think for Anya we did the white pupil, but I don't think I'm gonna do that for this one. We could probably copy the old eye, but I'm not sure if I want to. It's very simple is kind of the problem, right? So if I were to do this as a multiply layer, first and foremost, we have this. Maybe we... Oh, actually, wait. I have an idea. Wait a second. You do that like yandere shading that people are really into. We're not going to do that necessarily, but we are trying to again keep them a little more unhinged, I guess. Actually, wait, I have an idea. I have a terrible idea. This is layer 10, right? Okay, what if I take this, clip, but hide this one for now. Still a darken layer. Use the skin tone, but we're gonna make it a little darker. Maybe a little more, maybe lean it more purple? Wait, how would this look? Like grim purple? Ooh, but we lower the opacity a little? Maybe not that color. What if we go... Maybe a little too gray. What if we just go black? We just go black. I'm not hating this. Try a little greener. Okay, we'll try green. I don't think the green's looking too well. It makes her look sickly, which is kind of not the aesthetic. I mean, I think the black and gray is probably the cleanest one. Trying to think what else would possibly work. I think in this case, the one of those like purple and dark tones would probably work best, but she's already purple, so I don't want to add any more purple to the general look, which is kind of like my biggest concern. That's why I was like, maybe something like a gray would not be a bad start to kind of get the vibe that I want. This is 53 opacity, but if we crank it up to like 51, ooh, maybe not that. Okay, let's use a hard brush. Yeah, I'm just trying to think how I want to approach this. What if I use the base layer? What if I erase this? Use this. Erase all this. And then we use a slightly darker shade. Something a little more intense. Oh wait, I'm using the wrong. Oh wait. Okay, well I found the problem. I was using the wrong blending mode, so that probably isn't helping a lot. Heat headband to cover up her large forehead. Yeah, I mean it just looks nice on her. That's why we're going with it. What if we go even darker? You know what? Fine. I just realized the eyes are kind of misshapen. That's part of the charm. Well, that's what we'll say. That's my excuse. Oh yeah, it's just part of the charm. Okay, then this one will have to drop down all the way here as well. And then we gotta finish drawing the eyes out, which would mean I do need a highlight layer. So we'll do a dodge. Brush, opaque brush again. And then she does not have a twinkle or a sparkle. She only has rage in her eyes. What an improvement. Yeah, I mean, hey, look, we're trying, right? We're trying different techniques to get different vibes. That's kind of the whole goal, right? Experiment and learn until I find something that I'm comfortable with. Okay, I'm gonna put like a dedicated, like... She does need pupils. I struggle to draw good eyes. It's so difficult to draw a good eye. Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be difficult no matter how I approach it, so we'll just try our best. I have an idea. You know what? Hold on. I'm gonna look up one of my favorite artists, and I'm gonna see how they do it. That's a good way to do it. Let's see if I can just kind of get an idea. Let's see, how does this artist do their eyes? Oh, that is very, very big and moe eyes that I did not draw for this at all. What about, nope, wrong person. Interesting, yeah, so this person does theirs. Okay. Maybe we do it similar to that? I don't know. I don't want to copy. I want to get an idea though how some people do things. Making expressive eyes is always a little difficult, I think. Maybe we'll keep it simple. And then we'll soften it up a little bit around the edge. Oh, actually, hold on, that's not a bad idea. Soften it up with a soft brush, size 8, and just kind of soften the edges, because I think I drew it a little too hard. She just looks disgusted, and I think that's excellent. I think we've really nailed the "she hates you" look, which is what I was going for. I think I need a different color here. Oh, using the eraser. Whoops, not what I wanted. Oh boy, wrong layer. Wrong layer again. I don't know what gray this is, but it's probably close enough. Okay. I mean, it's probably fine. Probably the only thing, the last thing I'd probably add is, well, even if she's like super mad, would she still have an eye shine? Because you could probably do something simple like white, edge color black. We'll just draw in like, just have to go like above the line art layer. Okay. What the heck? Where'd it go? What the? Where did the layer? What the? Oh, here it is. You're gonna take it. All right. Have a good night, Kahila. Thank you for joining us, comrade. Get a good rest. Did I put an eye sparkle? I did not on Anya either, so this one doesn't get it either. Well, she looks like she hates you anyways. Oh shoot! You know what I forgot? I forgot to do the Oh shoot! I don't know which layer has the hair fluff. I lost. Oh, it's on the white layer. Okay, so in that case, we'll just go to white. We'll adjust it slightly darker on the darkening layer, and then we'll just kind of clean it up a little bit because it's kind of messy. Just kind of add like a bit of darkening here to get that little ear fluff look thingy. I don't know if cats really have this much ear fluff, but we'll pretend that the Necrogradians in fact do have this much like specialty ear fluff because it's kind of cute. Okay, hello Immortal, good evening. How are you doing, comrade? I am, however, at odds, and I don't know where this layer is. Never mind, I found it. It's in the hair. Okay. Is that everything? Yeah, that's everything. I think I got everything, yeah. Oh no, I did forget one thing. Hold on. So the other thing that I actually did do previously was I do make a layer for the glasses. I don't remember how I did it though. How did I do this? Well, technically they're all cats, but maybe they're a special breed of like fox cats or something. I don't know. Who cares? How did I do this previously? Did I just literally just draw like a white? I'm trying to see how I did it. Like, you see that like glasses shine? Oh, I know how I did this. Okay, wait, this is so stupid. So the way I did this, I think, was I just filled in the circle, right, with white. Clean it up a little bit. Just like that. Do the same thing over here. Yeah, I'm remembering how I did this. This was like super janky. By the way, in case you're wondering, Necrogradians do have normal human ears in addition to their cat ears. Otherwise, how the heck is this glasses staying on her head? Yes, unlike the Mikote from Final Fantasy XIV, they actually have normal human ears on top of that. Yeah, so what I did was I made this like low... I don't know what you want to call it, like... low opacity, in a way. And then I just took a hard eraser. And then I just like erased like a straight line, like this. And to kind of get that like glasses shine effect. That work? I mean, it looks fine, right? It looks a little weird. Maybe I need to do like a few more. Maybe if you do like If you do like a few small ones, and then you do like a big one in this middle. I mean, that seems like it's fine. Yeah, they're definitely more humanoid than they are cat-like, is probably the better way to describe it, yeah. Alright, if we're gonna turn this into a portrait, which we will, I do want to, I need to get the frame. I need a better frame. This current frame sucks. How do I do this? Square. Cool. How do I get rid of the fill? I don't want to fill in here. But it keeps trying to fill. Oh wait, oh that's because I had the wrong option selected. Okay. So we'll just maneuver this about, just to get the general idea. So I think the correct frame would be about... Okay, that's weird. No, it should be about maybe this size, and then we're gonna shoot. We can move that frame around. Okay, and then we can fix this a little. We can figure out where the mistakes are. I see like there's a bit of mistaking here, so I need to figure out where this weird whack layer is. I'm pretty sure it's on the hair layer. It's always the hair layer. I'm gonna fix that real quick. Anyways, how have you been doing, Immortal? Hopefully you're having a good evening. You missed a little bit of me talking about the entire Kingdom Hearts franchise earlier, which I'm sure you literally don't care about, but I had fun doing it because it was stupid. Yeah, I just fill this in like that. That's probably what fixes this. Ooh, nope. Okay, let's go to this layer. Shrink it down. Little bit of a gray tone. There we go. Okay, we fixed it up. Perfect. Okay. Best match of finals. What's finals? Okay, so then we're gonna go back to this layer, which is the one that had the original portrait sample. Must have lost it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I need to find the original terrible portrait here, which is this one. I want to drag it on here so I can have like, oh shoot, paste it in here because I want this to be like, oh okay, here's the glow up essentially of what we did. And I'm gonna hide this, and her background color for this image is going to be, I see what I did. Okay, so then we're using black as the exterior tone, and the inner tone will be, let's use maybe green would be a nice, well we did green, what if we use blue? A teal? Okay, that's incorrect. Put that on this layer, the layer down here. Maybe this amounts? The PvP shooter. Oh, that one? Okay, I didn't play that at all. Well, as long as you're having fun with it. It's not my type of game, but hey, as long as you're enjoying yourself, more power to you. I think the blue doesn't work too well. I think we need like a soft pink tone. This is for me sharing on social media. You know, that actually looks fine. Okay, that's okay. What is this character's name? That's the real question. I don't know. I need a name for this character that sounds appropriate. I don't know where this layer went. All my layers keep disappearing and I lose track of them. I don't even know what layer this thing is on. What layer is this thing on? Jesus Christ. Okay, I don't know how, but end up in this layer set here, which means I gotta drag it down all the way down. Like a Sasha type individual. A Sasha would probably be not a bad name. Okay. Move this over here. Let's see. So we're gonna go full. I mean, hey, as long as you're having fun with doing your melee build and it's working, then more power to you. Okay. Let's see. Name generator. But we might use Sasha. Maybe she should still have a last name. Soviet name generator. Let's use that. How about that? That sounds fun. Is that a thing that exists? Nope, you're just told to go look at Russian names instead. Cool. Let's see. Modern. Look up a list of names. I could, yeah. Like, you got a list of Hungarian surnames. A lot of these names end with va. Chiaki. I mean, we could mix Russian and Japanese just because it's already a weeb mod. We might as well commit to the bit, right? Somehow managed to win. Congratulations on winning, though. I mean, that sounds like it was rough. Alright, in that case, why don't we do this? So what if we named her? Oh boy, I have an idea. Okay, so this one's name is now Chiaki. Let's see, I need a surname with a D. What if her last name had a D? Started with a D. What are were the names in Yojo Senki real? Yojo Senki names. Or were they all just like completely made up? Sounds like they were all completely made up. Drusk. Oh wait, hold on. What if we just throw things together? Oh my god, hold on. I forgot names are like stupidly long. Druskanova. You know what? That sounds vaguely appropriate. Yeah, sure. Hold on. I have a terrible idea. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna just quickly do this. We're gonna expand the pink square a little bit, just so I can fit this whole stupid name in here, because otherwise it's not gonna fit. Okay. Got it. So that's gonna be this character's name, and then I'll probably post this on social media or something. Okay, so we'll do that. That's fine. And then we'll move the original piece over here. And then we're gonna rewrite the name again. Since I know what I'm doing now. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so this character's name is now... God. Chiaki... What does Drust mean? I guess is the better question. I should probably ask that. My ability to draw and write is starting to deteriorate. Drusk. Skanova. Let's see. And then I guess her name would probably be written out in full kana or katakana. So it'd probably be something like Chiaki. I don't know how to pronounce this. Drust. How to name romanizer? Let's see. There's got to be a way to make this a little easier, because unfortunately, like, I'm trying to like pronounce it. I'm trying to sound it out with my knowledge of like kana, and it's like Drustanova, Drusk, do. So it would probably be written something like, okay, Drust, do. So you do this a du sound, right? So, I'm trying to think how that would even be written. It's not a do, it'd be like a do sound, which is the problem. Is the model frozen? Oh yeah, it was, sorry. And that's kind of the issue. Durutsukanova. Yeah, probably is my guess. There's not really like a do. There's not really a do kana. I guess there is. You probably use two, right? Do. What if you do like a Jew, like D-U, D-Y-U? Durusk. Do. You spend a couple hours finding Windows. You will never be free from Windows. Windows is just a hellscape. I'm sorry. I think it'd probably be written something like, so probably like, Chiaki, God, I don't know how people do this. At least my name is easy enough to. Okay, do. Hold on. Oh, and then you probably do like the Turusk. Oh no, probably Su, not Su. And then you would probably do Noba. No is written with a, and then no, I think it, yeah. Nova, Ruskanova, Doraskonova. I guess it depends if it's like a do or drusk. Duraskunova. Yeah, it's really hard to figure out what's the correct way to pronounce this, and it's like making my head spin a little bit. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's just like Russian names in general are kind of like wacky, right? But yeah, it'd probably be something like that, and then you'd probably have God, this is such a mess of a name. This name is such a mess. And I didn't even like write this one properly because I was like so unsure if this was like the correct name, so I probably should have like, I probably need to rewrite some of this here. Duruska. No. Ba. Good enough. Good enough. Duruska. With a double K. Duruskanova. Duruskanova. That's probably fine. We'll pretend that's fine enough. All right. Anyways, we did it. Wow, look at that. We did an art thing. Look at that Galoa. She got a promotion from looking straight on and looking half confused to just being very annoyed at you, the individual watching this stream. We did it. Amazing. Let me save before my stream crashes. All right. Good enough for me. When that means it's probably time for me to get ready to go to bed and do other things that I gotta do. So who the hell am I rating today? Because all the people I normally rate are probably Sleepo Beepo or something. Anyways, tomorrow we're gonna continue Fire Emblem after so many moons of putting it off. So, oh yeah, no, I know the kanji. I thought about it too, but I think it's probably more appropriate if they're all having katakana even for like their regular names, because it's still supposed to be a Soviet themed abomination of a faction anyways. So anyways, I hope you had fun with today's wacky tacky adventure in the realm of art, which is a thing that I do once in a blue moon, as is to say very rarely, because it's not a thing I like doing that much because I am bad. But maybe I could be convinced to do more of this in the future. We'll have to see ultimately in the end if it's something I want to do more of. I know people will say just do it, and I'll be like, oh, okay. I'll go back to weekly. Yeah, I'll go weekly for like 3 weeks, and then I'll get bored and stop doing it again. Anyways, I hope you had fun. I'm gonna get ready to go to bed. I need to eat. At least I took a shower, so I don't need to do that anymore. So anyways, hopefully have a good night. Sorry about all the crashing in the beginning of the stream. I swear that was not intended. This was not. I don't like it when things crash, but it happens occasionally. So anyways, have a good night, comrades. Good enjoy. I'll be back tomorrow with the Fire Emblems, and we will have a fantastic time doing that nonsense, I'm sure. Anyways, say hi to Mackenzie. They're doing I guess a partners push and doing art, so I guess we'll just raid into another artiste. Tomorrow, hopefully we won't have any more crashing. I swear, I really hope we don't. I don't want to deal with any more crashing, please. I can't handle it if my games crash anymore. I'm gonna go insane. Okay, goodbye, good night, etc, etc, etc. I'm gonna go play the new Battlefield 6 update that I've been waiting for so long. I can't believe I have done 3 full battle passes in a row for this stupid franchise. God, what's wrong with me? Okay, goodbye.